to a very special edition of Wednesday Critical TBD RPG.
Woo! Vast.
Vast. Yeah, let's see. It'd be vastical. No, wait, that sounds wrong. Vastical. Wow. A whole new type of fan for Geek and Sundry audience. Vasticles. Anyway. Okay, so hi everybody. Welcome. Yes, we are back after a week being gone. Thanks for coming back and tuning in for us. We've got a very big game today. Today, a lot of roads are merging once again. This is going to be probably our biggest game to date, and I'm sure the crew, including Denise, is hoping this will be the last time we have a game this big. Before we kick the recaps off, we actually have a bunch of announcements this morning, so we're going to go ahead and just jump into those real quick. The first big announcement that I want to launch into, we're going to start small and then kind of build big. So the first one, we had an awesome time at WonderCon. At the WonderCon panel, we announced that TBD RPG is in the future, not anytime soon. So
this is the small one?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, well, yes, you'll see why.
Okay.
TBD RPG is going to be evolving into the official Star Trek RPG. We're basically teaming up with Modiphius, who is the publishers of the upcoming Star Trek Adventures RPG, and we've been in talks with them for a while now. And we decided we're going to go all in and make this the Star Trek show. It's going to become, we're going to get a crew, everything's going to be assembled together. But don't worry to all the Whovian lovers out there. Doctor Who, we still have a good chunk of story to go. This show ain't going anywhere for a spell, so don't freak out. It's probably going to happen, I'm guessing, in the summer, but Sax will probably smack me across the face with a brick if I try to give you guys a launch date, because we just don't have one yet. But we are working in conjunction, so I can say it'll probably happen before Comic-Con and definitely before Gen Con. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. That was the first one. Now we're going to build into even bigger announcements. Jody Hauser was born today, sometime ago.
Actually, just today. I just
it
came
was like
straight from
30
the
seconds.
hospital.
Yeah, like
so
right
much.
before we mic'd her. It was like, what? How did we mic you before you were born?
It's the mysteries of time and space.
Our crew is just that good.
They're
Yeah,
that
that's
good.
a better answer.
Let's not see fan art of that.
Yeah.
But before we continue to wish Jody a very happy birthday and tell her how grateful we are that she exists and that she's our friend and stuff, I think somebody had something special for Jody today.
What?
I think somebody had a birthday song.
Hello.
May I introduce Sam?
Hi, Sam.
All right, Sam.
Hi.
Fire
no
away.
matter what I play as a character, I am always the bard. So this morning when I woke up like it was Christmas morning and I was very excited, I wrote a small birthday song for you. Whether corsair or master or to convest, you're a wonderful gift to us all. As we sit here and play, celebrate your birthday with some opera by Darren DePaul. You know that at first we suspected you, but since you punched River, we all have respected you. Story points may come and go, but damn, we're all glad that you're here on our show. So let's get her some dice, 'cause it sure would be nice if our time in this Star Whale would end. And let's hear it for Jody, because we all know she's a wonderful player and friend.
I got all weepy, damn it. Yay. Wow, that was... So, in case y'all didn't know, Sam can sing. Just giving y'all a heads up. She's got a little bit of voice there. That was lovely.
Thank you.
Happy birthday,
you for
Jody.
being on this show. Happy birthday.
I actually I have something to present to you, Jody, as well.
What?
The incredibly difficult to acquire, the very highly expensive Loot Crate Sonic Spork, which I am now giving to you. We are not sponsored by Loot Crate. However, Jody will feel like the next Sam Riegel with her new Loot Crate Sonic Spork.
Oh my God!
Exclusive. You go ahead and whip that bad boy out. It is in fact a spork that is a sonic screwdriver.
That's
number
amazing.
11.
That's amazing.
And all its genius.
The signature
That is
weapon of
so
Lisa the
delightful.
Time Lord. The signature weapon of Lisa the Time Lord.
Yes, indeed. There you finally have your sonic screwdriver.
Thank you.
Any other announcements before I get into our last big announcements?
I'm excited.
Yes.
Star Wars Rogue One,
Oh,
issue 1, out
yeah.
this week.
By the way,
by me.
Jody kind of had a hand in creating the Star Wars Rogue One comic. You may have heard of it. is.
Just a small franchise. It
It's
has like
coming
a few
out this
hardcore
week.
fans.
Yeah, just a little.
I'm glad
Jody
to see
did the
you're
whole-
doing some indies to add to your
Yeah,
growing
for
body
that
of
little
work.
company Marvel.
Marvel. Yeah.
Marvel. They're really doing some cool little stuff.
Real quick, what's coming up on Wednesday Club?
That's Comics 101.
Yes, we've done 2 weeks of sort of deep diving into continuity and big mainstream superhero event altering things, and this next week we're going to be doing our like absolute welcome to comics. If you don't have any idea where to start here.
And I'm sadly going to be missing that one because I had plans that I made 3 months ago that I really.
You didn't know you were going to have a hit show on GNS.
I
3
know.
months ago.
I knew.
You should have known, Tal.
You weren't like, maybe I'll be talking about comics at that specific time on that specific day.
I have Hamilton tickets.
Okay, that's fair. That's like,
I'm gonna mention. I'm definitely gonna like throw some manga or like my first manga recommendations at the very least from my time trip back to
Hamilton
to
tickets.
Washington.
5
like the
points
valid
for
excuse
Disney.
for
My brother got them for
anything.
my birthday.
Did you see that Lafayette from Hamilton is in a band called Clipping, and they did a sci-fi concept album, and that concept album is nominated for a Hugo?
No.
It was like it started as a joke on Twitter. Their account was sort of like, wouldn't it be funny if this year, instead of 6 episodes of Doctor Who for the best short form dramatic work thing, it was like 5 episodes of Doctor Who and our album. And then they were like, this started as a joke, but our label gave us codes, so if you're a Hugo voter, hit us up. And they're actually in the finalists now.
I saw that.
I will have to dig that up.
Yeah, long chain, very sorry, but
No, it was good.
I'm going to go ahead and hawk this because last night was incredibly fun to watch and a bit tragic. But if you guys get a chance, catch up on the latest episode of Critical Role. I'm just going to say this. There was a WWE moment that I adore. And I'm just going to leave it alone. Not going to give any spoilers.
I'm only like
But I was
43
trying to get the chat
episodes
channel riled up. And on that note, thank you, Taker, because I'm a huge WWE fan. And Taker retired, and it was really sad. Okay. All right, so our last big announcement, no big deal. One of the fans of the show, a one Splattercat, also known as Mike Fox, decided to contribute, give a slice of thank you and their own piece of fandom to one Amy Dallin, and sent us this during the week that I will now present. I will now present
get a
to
cardboard
Amy.
box, Amy.
It's
I
just
love
what I've
boxes.
always wanted.
It is so, Amy. If you could, before we
starch
begin the
peanuts.
game today, if you could, you are instructed to read the notes first.
read me first.
Read the note first, and then we will continue. Never let it be said.
Spider Cat, I hope you're watching.
Never let it be said that GNS doesn't have like
Gallifrey.
the greatest damn community.
The greatest, though.
Yeah.
All right, read the following aloud, and feel free to do so in your best David Tennant voice. Eric does better than me, but I'll try. It wasn't intentional, but upon rereading, it actually fits. I haven't worked up a Tennant specifically, so I'll just try to not stress about this present.
Yeah. Fire away.
Hello, Amy. Miss Amy Dallin. I've been a big fan of yours for some time now. Ever since I first saw you on Tabletop. I can't read praise of myself as someone else. It feels
This
like
is going to be fantastic.
I'm having a psychotic break
Keep
where I'm
going.
imagining David Tennant complimenting me.
No, this is Splattercat has now given us yet another gift. Please continue reading your praises out loud, Amy. I want to see this. Continue. Continue.
Hello, Amy. Miss Amy Dallin. I've been a big fan of yours for some time now, ever since I first saw you on Tabletop. More than a fan, I've actually admired you. Your knowledge, your passion, your energy, your namesake enthusiasm, your adorable presence, and of course, how very down-to-earth you are and how genuinely you care about the welfare and happiness of others. Just incredible. Which brings us to why we're here. If you want to pop that box open, there's something in there that's for you, and I sincerely hope you like it. Go on, I'll wait for you here. There's a big line, because I guess now I have to
I
open
guess
this
now you've
box.
got to open it.
I like when letters have stage direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keeps going flip.
Exit pursued by bear.
Oh my god. Oh my
Are
god.
there beverages that I don't
Yes,
want to...
there's a beverage.
I already started moving
All
them.
right, we got it.
Oh, nice! Ears!
Whoa. That's so cool.
Oh my god!
Well, you have to put it
How
on.
tall is our frame?
You're good.
Very nice.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I just want to say that as somebody who collects those coats, they don't make that one anymore.
No,
You
that's-
told me that
Yeah.
months ago!
Abby Schott pulled that from their shelf, and it's tough to get.
Splattercat! It's got the tags and the extra button and everything!
That is.
Oh,
Nice!
that's a good look on you.
It's a perfect fit. That fits better than mine fits.
Wow.
Yes, indeed, Doctor.
Wow.
Well, yep, that's
That's a thing.
that's happened.
I'm feeling very underdressed now.
Now you definitely look like you're.
Apparently, I should come this way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where are you
model
going?
it.
Where are you
I
sending
don't
her?
know.
Model in front of
I've been
her?
listening
Are
to
we
the people
modeling?
off screen. I don't
Wow.
know
Yeah,
if that's a
of
good
course
idea.
we're modeling. Look at this.
May I borrow the spork?
Find the camera. Find the camera.
Hold on.
The Sonic.
Use the other
Sport.
end. The other end, maybe. Other end.
Yeah, good point.
There you go.
Yay!
Yeah.
2 or 3.
There you go. Stop. You're good. Perfect.
Splattercat!
Oh, you are magnificent.
That looks fantastic.
Fan.
You are now dressed like your doctor.
Oh my god!
This is already the best episode we have.
Look at the way it moves when you run.
What's
Love the
rest of
running.
that? You're finally going to get an idea of how hot it is to wear those on camera. So go ahead and
more
finish the note. Yeah.
Now, assuming you don't have one like it, that Miss Amy is not merely cosplay. It's a functional replica of the 10th Doctor's coat. Almost as though it were made on Gallifrey. Take my word for it, I've been wearing one like it for years, and it's very much my favorite outerwear. I wear it everywhere, in fact. That said, I don't expect you to wear it everywhere. I'm just saying, should you feel so inclined, you absolutely can. You can wear it every day, and it will last for years. Welcome to the next 6 months of me on this channel. Mind you, I found it doesn't stand up to the dead of Canadian winter, and of course it's going to be hot in the middle of an LA summer. But for about 8 to 10 months out of the year, it's a perfect blend of style and comfort. Very nice interactions with the wind as well. You can either button it up for neck to foot protection or have it open and flowing, making you a majestic badass. If anyone would like to try to say majestic badass in their David Tennant,
No,
I would
you're
love
good.
that.
I'm not going to try
Just
to
watch when you go upstairs. Downstairs is fine, upstairs can be tricky. There's so many warnings with this coat.
It's a
Do
time
not feed
coat.
that coat after midnight.
Yeah. Anyway, Miss
Don't
Amy,
get it
not
wet.
going to keep you any longer. You have places to be, things to do. I look forward to seeing you on stream going forward. Again, I hope you like the coat, and thank you for all you do. You're an inspiration. From one Time Lord to another, you, Amy Dallin, are brilliant. You are fantastic. Trust me. You're the Doctor. Yours truly, Mike Fox at Splattercat.
Yay! Thank you, Mike Fox.
Thank you,
also known
Good
as
job.
Splattercat.
Nailed it.
Yep. I was doing okay until I saw Amy getting emotional, and then I got a little moved. We're doing all right. Okay, so now that we have all these filthy, disgusting good vibes going through the show.
Everyone's full of feels now. Let's go kill everything.
Yes, indeed. All right, so I think that'll do it for our opening. And thank you again, Mike Fox Splattercat. That is a hell of a gift.
How did you even do that?
Never underestimate the GNS fans, man. Never underestimate.
I should have learned this in approximately 2012.
All
I
right.
think I know by now.
All right.
So we'll try to do into the recap now. Oh, real quick, do you guys want the book over there today? You guys gonna need that? Because I can deliver it real quick before we jump in.
How mad with I love having it, but how mad is it going to be
You
if I
guys should
start
have
running
it
around
just
again?
in case. Especially because you guys are fighting Unicron today, and you know how it is when you fight planet-sized Transformers.
I definitely saw that coming.
Ideally,
Unicron
do it from a planet-sized star whale.
Star whale.
No. Oh,
The voice of
it'll be
Orson
Star Whale. It'll be Leviathan versus Unicron. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Go with that. All right. Okay. So let's start things off. Recap. You guys are inside of a giant effing whale. We've been here for a couple of episodes now. Inside this whale, after being swallowed, after closing up this gap, after meeting Meatstick, the Ood, and encountering some new NPC friends, namely Zeeps, who's kind of inadvertently joined the group, apparently. He's now on
It was
board with you
inadvertent on
guys.
our part. You didn't know that was coming.
No, but Gina, really it was Gina. Gina
Yeah.
took a liking to Zeeps, and then, and there we go. So you guys, inside this whale, discovered you were not going to be able to escape. The Doctor decided to risk everything and go down the blowhole of this massive, multiple planet-sized whale to find friends that had crashed down there. Oh, and maybe this is a good time to actually explain. Our beloved and much missed Duncan is not going to be here today. I was about to go into the recap of Duncan and Rocco trying to find their way through the whale and realized, oh, right, we're missing somebody. Duncan, my dear friend, is currently working Monsterpalooza here in LA because he has a day job. And as somebody who's worked Monsterpalooza with Duncan, good luck, my friend.
It's a wonderful sort of horror and monster film convention
It's
that
awesome.
happens every year out here.
Working it can be It's tough. But it's the fun kind of tough, but at the end of the day, you're dead. Like, and you belong as part of the display. So Duncan will be back with us next week. So that being said, Cillian and Roko managed to escape the wreckage of their ship that had crashed inside this whale and journeyed forth to try to find out if you could discover the other piece of this wreckage. You came across a bar, essentially what looked like a space-age sort of Douglas Adams-esque biker bar in the middle of this whale, which got you pointed to the direction of a city in this whale, the city called Cosm. At that point, you rallied with the doctor who steered the TARDIS down the blowhole. Realizing that all of you were trapped inside the whale, the TARDIS could not get out. You went inside Cosm, met some pretty colorful characters, and were directed to a mountain peak, which I think is called Wreck Mountain? Or
Wreck Peak.
Wreck Peak. I came up with something brilliantly clever for that one. Wreck Peak. You were warned about going up there. Supposedly whoever was up there was actually going to have the answers to getting out of here, but everyone who's gone up there has either never come back or is come back completely terrified and refuses to ever go back. You ascended Wreck Peak and found that those rumors were not false. You found corpseified remains of various horrific monsters. One of them was a weeping angel. You found the broken face plate of a weeping angel that looks like it had been smashed to pieces, and maybe its head was the only thing that was left of it. You found the peeled outer shell of a Dalek and no sign of the rest of it, laying off the side like it was discarded in some kind of cheap junkyard. And various other like weapons, and it looked like scattered. It looked like a graveyard as you ascended this place. And as you reached the front wooden door and were invited inside, you discovered that not some kind of horrific creature was waiting for you within, but actually a bumbling professor, a Time Lord by the name of
Professor Chronotis.
Professor Chronotis. Professor Chronotis turned out to be the source of the jamming. Why you guys couldn't escape, it was all part of the plan to protect everybody inside this whale from the Temporal Guard, the evil enforcers of the Gallifreyan War Council, who is now taken over and is waging war against blah, 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 the entire universe. Upon an attempt to get away from the whale, you all went back to your TARDIS after he deactivated what's called the Labyrinth Circuit that he was using to constantly keep time travelers and teleporters out of Leviathan. You discovered that the Labyrinth Circuit was not shut off. Going back, you took the TARDIS back to the front door of his apartment, which actually is also a TARDIS built into the side of the mountain, and discovered that a piece of this circuit, the Labyrinth Circuit, the contingency circuit, that's built inside, that's keeping everything impaired, that keeps travelers from leaving or entering, that has been stolen. Chronotis has had relationships with the criminal elements in Cosm.
You old dog.
This is largely so that Chronotis could get supplies when he needed and also keep his ear to the ground. It was just sort of like a convenient thing to do. Everyone kind of knew, don't mess with me, I don't mess with you. So there was a go-between, a liaison that was that had an arrangement, but apparently broke faith with that arrangement because there's only one person that could have stolen that contingency circuit, and it has to be someone who was willingly given access to the inside of the TARDIS, and he's the only one. His name, if you remember,
Tazakiel.
that's the Crime Lord. Pinnock was
yes, the consigliere.
Pinnock was the first lieutenant of the Crime Lord Tazakiel. Pinnock is the one who supposedly stole the contingency circuit. And you guys have all decided to go back down to Cosm to have some words with Pinnock. And we left off right in front of the visitor center, where the sight of Chronotis terrified one of the squiddy-looking mail runners, who promptly got on their hover bike, and got the hell out of Dodge. And you were all just you were directed, I think, you went inside and talked to Merple again. Merple, the cyborg, who lives right next door to his wife. It was Merple Jr., who lives right next door to his wife, Merple. The tea maker. My game is so weird.
That's why we love it.
It's so weird. And you were basically directed to where the Crime Lord makes their base, which I believe is called the Dead Gull? Yes. the Dead Gull, which is essentially like the crime casino, sort of like the criminal's den. I call it the Mos Eisley Cantina of the interior of this whale. And that's where we left off. Y'all have been directed to go to this crime lord's den, and you are currently standing outside the visitor center now that you have your directions. The city of Cosm is pretty large. And again, for those of you who weren't with us, who haven't seen it, it is a giant city that is basically built on the wreckage of every ship that has crashed inside of Leviathan. And it looks like it's been well maintained and well constructed. It's not pretty to the eyes, but it is genius in its simplicity and the way it's been built up. And that these buildings look like they should be falling apart and tipping over, and somehow they are holding themselves quite fine. These massive cargo ships that have been tilted up on end to form apartment complexes, essentially. Technologies ranging from across the centuries have been contributing to the fact that this city has actually somehow maintained itself. You have also learned, by the way, that there are other cities inside this whale, possibly other clans, like organization. There might be a whole government thing going on with like multiple cities, although Cosm is the entry city and the biggest one. So that's where we begin. You guys standing in this, I guess I can call it a street. The ground here inside of Leviathan is always kind of questionable. You're always aware that you're walking on biological footing. You're so tiny compared to the size of this creature that the flesh of Leviathan, especially at this point of in its mouth in a space whale, it's not uncommon to forget that you're walking on something that's alive, because you're walking over dirt, rubble, sometimes stones that have been added to the floorboarding here, but your feet never feels quite right when you're stepping down. And that's where we begin.
Right, well, we've got our directions.
Yes.
Have you been here before?
No, actually. I normally just conduct all my business from my apartments. This is highly irregular.
Right.
Well, this place sounds wonderful.
River just kind of smirks but doesn't say anything. But she smirks at your comment. You kind of get the idea that, as much as you hate her, she comes from the same,
Yeah.
You wear it better.
Thank you. And true.
Shall we?
Yes.
Let's.
We could try not to start any unnecessary trouble. I know that's ridiculous to even tell you that, but...
necessary trouble happens all the time around you and me, and, well, it's always just happening, so...
Fair
Trouble's
enough.
going to be necessary. Really? Well, all right.
Okay. Off to see the wizard. The streets of Cosm are just as miraculous as the city itself. The life that people have managed to build for themselves inside of this creature, it's just a further testament to the tenacity of creatures that don't give up. You're coming across spacefaring vessels that
We've been a jungle gym out of a wing.
yeah. There is it's not, think of it like that, because it is a fully functional local city, and it looks like a population growth has taken place. So it's not surprising to come across what is clear a building that looks like constructed, maybe welded cargo containers that have been stacked up upon each other. It's clearly an elementary school. And walking past things like this, you're coming across cul-de-sacs in neighborhoods. People have built bikes. The place looks like it has managed to actually function as a somewhat peaceful community. There are creatures that you guys have passed. Some of them don't have names yet that you haven't never come across. Some of these species, Doctor, as you're passing them, judging by the time period in which you guys landed on that asteroid ages ago before you were swallowed by the whale, some of these species are extinct in the universe. But here they are, flourishing, maybe getting away from the final fate of their species, being locked in this whale. They've managed to persist. So it is quite a wonder to walk through it. It's also kind of bleak, though. Everything is powered by shoddy fluorescent lighting. All the light here is artificial. So even though it is a miraculous thing to behold, you can't escape the fact that there is no day or night really inside this creature, and that it's kind of try to imagine life in the Underdark kind of deal, where it's like, oh wow, what a great city. I would never want to live here, kind of thing. But they've made the best of it. It doesn't take that long. I would describe the city of Cosmo about the same size as San Francisco, meaning you could probably walk from one end to the next in about 6 hours. So by the time you reach the Dead Gull, it hasn't been more than an hour. It's hard to say that this is a shady part of the neighborhood because, again, it looks like everything's pretty much looks uniform and the same. Judging by the characters that are walking through here, it's kind of difficult to tell if it's seedy. However, the Dead Gull itself does look seedy. It looks like another maybe freighter, perhaps maybe even parts of fighter craft of some kind were amalgamated together through welding to create this massive. Yes, Jody, I said massive. Never letting that go.
No, you always point it out. I
Eric
don't
is
think of
never
it
letting that
until you point it out.
Yeah, well, self-sabotage. What are you gonna do? So this building is about 2 stories tall, and it looks like it has a weird construction because, again, because of the ground being uneven, this building looks like it kind of is formed where, like, so maybe the nose of a ship kind of goes. It's elongated towards the back. Built up twice, on 2 floors. It's 2 ships that have been kind of smashed together. You see wings sticking out of it, places where weapons may have been held at one point and have been removed. And you see big neon lights and a dead bird that says the Dead Gull. And people coming in and out. From the sounds going on inside this building, it's probably a party 24/7 on Earth time. And you guys find yourself standing out. You guys are a little out of place. Chronotis is definitely out of place, looking very scholarly and done up. No one seems to give you too much of a second glance.
Right. Have you met this Tazakiel?
We've communicated. I think that's the whole point of a go-between is that I haven't actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never really left your mountain.
Write letters. It's just very irregular. Very irregular.
What do they call you?
Just the professor, usually.
Professor,
Yes.
right.
Yes. They know who I. He should know who I am. Yes. Yes, he knows who I am.
I'm hoping that will work to our advantage. They're probably pretty frightened of you.
River, her hand has been resting very relaxed on her pistol, the way it always is when she's walking. And she says, one thing we might need to keep in mind, darling, is that whoever stole this circuit was smart enough to steal it.
I knew I was out.
So
Do they have you under surveillance somehow?
Apparently. Very odd.
Do they know you're a Time Lord?
I don't think so. I don't know. I haven't told them. It's not the sort of thing that comes up in polite conversation. I don't think. It hasn't been very much impolite conversation. Maybe. I don't think so. No. Probably not. No.
All right.
I wonder what sort of person would understand what needed to be taken then. It's rather technical. I know I wouldn't have known what to get.
of course, it is possible that he was a complete buffoon and just grabbed something that looked shiny.
It does sound like him.
But he'd operated your circuit before, yeah?
Just push the button, pull the switch. Nothing complicated.
Interesting.
And about that point, you see Cubby come waddling out of the bar. Do you remember Cubby?
Yep.
Cubby comes waddling out, goggles still on, and just unceremoniously waddles past you guys and just kind of goes,
Oh, right. Hello.
hello, and keeps going.
Nice night for it.
Shall we go on in?
Bit of recreation. Not out of line. Let's stay out of trouble, avoid any unnecessary violence. I'm never sure what I need to remind us all of as we try to do this. Shall we?
Yes, let's.
Okay. You guys push through the front doors and come into immediately. It looks like an entry area that's red lit. you see two very large velvet-looking red curtains, and you hear the thudding of music behind these curtains. Lots of bright lights and whatnot, and cheering, and people are coming and going. However, what catches your eye the moment you walk in the door, standing like a bouncer off to the left, is Meatstick.
Oh,
Just standing there, completely right where, like he belonged there. So to give you some quick backstory, because I actually have not had a chance to coordinate this with you, Matt, because you've been so insanely busy.
Sorry.
Waking up after the crash led you guys to some encounters that will be revealed very soon, but essentially led to you into the employ of this criminal mastermind who you were very accommodating to, since they were clearly the most powerful person that you had met without your master and whatnot after the ship crashed. They were distrusting of you at first, then realized your value, and you have been guarding the dead gull for a total of 16 hours in your new position. As you've been standing here watching people come and go, all of them looking at you with a slight intimidation, you're rather surprised to see the doors open and in walks your former master, the doctor, along with a few of her companions.
Stand there, I'm going to hug you.
It is a pleasure to see you as well, Master Doctor.
Meatstick, you're alive. I'm so glad. Is Finn here? Is everyone here?
Yes, everyone is in this building.
Yes, everyone is in this building.
Yes.
oh,
Bear
that's-
with us. I have not had a chance to coordinate with Matt exactly what Meatstick knows today.
Oh, that's very convenient.
Where are they?
So I can tell you, and if you want to just take this as information that's being passed on, essentially, the crew of the vessel was taken captive after the front half of the ship landed a little over 2 kilometers away from the rear half of the ship. It was scavenged by criminals, and those who were discovered within the cockpit were taken into custody by the crime lord. Meatstick was found to be the least combative, least angry, and most susceptible to working with them, and has joined their employ. The other 2 are considered prisoners of the crime lord.
Oh my goodness.
Well done. Not just a voiceover actor, but I can voice over a voiceover actor.
Reverse dubbing,
been
you're
done.
right.
On that note, Meatstick, I will say that there is a new member of the party. As the 2 of you are getting a glimpse of each other for the very first time, you see well, if you want to describe yourself, Tal, I don't know if
Oh,
you've
yeah,
actually...
yes. It's an older gentleman, disheveled in a disintegrating tweed suit, unshaven, hair all over the place, red tie, and just sort of a bit dotty, and a Time Lord. Carry on. Yes. Yes.
It is a pleasure to see all of you. And now with your arrival, it seems that I have no immediate need of my current employer.
Right, current employee. You work here?
I previously did up until your arrival, yes.
The curtain opens when he finishes saying that, and someone leans through. One of the guys you know working for Tezekiel, human, sticks his head through. Bald guy, tattoos all over his face. Sticks and says, "Meatstick, we got a problem. We need you in here, okay?"
I'm terribly sorry, but I'm no longer in your employ. My apologies.
Yeah. Anyway, so come on in. We need your help with something. And then he just goes back and he closes the curtain.
Master Doctor, would you prefer us to follow suit on this endeavor?
Just the doctor, thanks.
Of course, Master Doctor.
If quickly, we might want to find out what the deal is there, but do you know where Ava and Brennick and Drep and Finn are?
I believe they're included
They
in the...
are all being imprisoned by Tezekiel here inside this building.
They're all currently being held, most likely against their will, within this complex.
Oh no, are they all right?
They appear to be all right, other than being severely restrained and unable to escape.
Oh goodness.
Oh, so a jailbreak's in order then.
Yes, immediately.
My God, River says. I hesitate to point out that we're all on the same page for once.
Continue
This is River's
hesitating.
song. That's enough about that. Yes.
A pleasure, Miss Song.
Not for long.
She took the words out of my mouth.
And a pleasure as well, you strange, small, elderly gentleman.
Yes, meat stick, was it not?
Yeah.
That will suffice, yes.
Excellent. Let's carry on then. Carry on.
Shall we carry on, Master Doctor?
Tal, I'll
Yes,
point this out.
just a quick
Chronotis has never seen an ood like this before.
Yeah, I'm noticing he's odd. He's an odd dude.
He stands close to like 7.5 feet tall, built like a tank.
I'm letting this happen.
The orb he's holding is in fact not an orb at all, but a jagged-looking cube that looks like it's been just crudely carved out of a rock and slapped in his hand. This thing looks terrifying.
Do I have any theory of what that thing might do just staring at it? Because I'm very clever.
Just looking. Let's have our first roll of the game, but I'm certain you're going to be able to suss this out. Go ahead and make your ingenuity and I would say technology roll.
Ingenuity and technology?
Yeah, just getting a good look at it.
And can I add technically adept to that?
Sure. Yeah, I'll let you do that. Working
24.
20. Okay, so that's the Time Lord rolls, man. Yeah, it's a heavily modified OOD device. It looks like it's been. It looks like some of the technology that's probably being incorporated into it isn't OOD in nature, and it looks like it actually might help. It looks like the best way to describe it is if an OOD device could have possibly been weaponized.
Gotcha. I
Yeah.
can work with that.
It's very indiscreet, even though it looks sinister. It's for good reason. It turns out whatever he's holding is probably dangerous, and
Oh.
nobody around him seems to be aware of this fact. Everyone just seems to be very accepting. He's just so pleasant.
All right. Yes, carry on.
Do you know which way they are? And did they? How did they subdue Velig? Is he all right? Sorry.
You're not entirely sure because when you came to, they were already captive. Velig was unconscious. The only one that was conscious was Finn, and you do know that it took multiple people to restrain Finn, and then finally knock Finn unconscious.
That's
And this came after Finn probably injured a few of them.
Good for her.
As far as I know, I don't know.
Right.
My apologies, Master Doctor.
Nothing to apologize for. Which way to the prisoner cells? You think?
Oh,
I'd like to liberate our friends if we can.
How ought we do that?
What?
How ought we do that? Because we have a couple of people who can do it the not so nice way, but are we going to?
To be perfectly honest, I excel at the not-so-nice way.
We also need to get the labyrinth circuit fixed.
We
This is
do.
imperative. We're all in terrible danger at the moment.
That's true, but our friends are in prison,
Yes, we rather should get them out. first.
and let's all get them in the same place, and then we do rather outnumber the Sazakil.
Very well. Very well. Yes, yes, yes.
Agent of the Resistance is among them.
Oh, yes, yes. Of course. Lead on, of course.
All right.
Eric? Scanning around, how many people just sort of ambiently seem to be armed?
So as you guys push through the curtains, which is, well, it's pretty easy to do, is Meat Stick just kind of, I'm guessing, just holds that curtain up. Everybody being like 7.5 feet tall, that curtain just kind of.
Please, be my guest.
You see, the first thing you notice as you're walking in is the fight that supposedly Meat Stick was supposed to break up is out of control in the corner, and the guy who is demanding that Meat Stick come help is currently on the ground getting his head kicked in. You see a few other people are dragging them off, but it looks like it's breaking up. Various races in here. The place, judging from like the lighting source and the thudding music and the atmosphere, you don't see anybody immediately armed. The only person that's openly and brazenly brandishing a weapon in the come at me bro manner is the curly-haired blonde woman to your right, who none of you like, whose arm is just kind of casually resting on that pistol that has claimed the lives of many creatures, from Daleks to humans. And that's really it. Like, you can't, if people are armed in this place, everyone seems to be doing a relatively good job. You can try to make a roll if you want to see if you can perceive any concealed weapons or
would
perhaps
love
any
to.
hand. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Then you can make your awareness resolve.
Oh, lovely.
Tell me what you got. It's going to be tricky, so you'll need a 15.
21.
21.
Yes.
You catch the unmistakable. You don't spot firearms, but you do. It's difficult to miss like the pommels of swords on the back of people's, like strapped to their backs. You are coming across. You're not seeing any obvious weapons per se, like guns or anything, but you're seeing like serrated edges to like shoulder plates and elbow plates. This place looks like a little more manageable version of something you might find in Mad Max. People around here look like they've kind of forged and built weapons off of whatever they find. It's probably because you're starting to realize that firearms here probably aren't that common. Aside from when ships crash here, and charging up like laser capacitors and whatnot to actually fuel firearms, it looks like for the most part this population has turned to melee weapons.
You know, it occurs to me I've gotten a bit ahead of myself in this just sort of smash everything open plan. Perhaps we might be better served. Meatstick, they still believe you work here, right? Except for your current failure to intervene in that fight over there?
Yes, my apologies. My priorities have shifted with your arrival.
Well, that I'm actually quite glad about. But if they believe that you still work here, do you think that you could go ask them to, or tell them that you need to release the prisoners?
Are you requesting, as is your order, Master Doctor, that I lie to my previous employers?
Yes. River just pipes in. Everyone's like, yes.
I would find it very helpful.
Trust me, she means
shall
yes.
be done. Very well. I will do this.
Okay, you guys, instead of so, Meatstick, you know very well that in the back offices are where Tezekiel likes to set up camp. Off to the right and down a hallway is where people who are in trouble with Tezekiel are usually kept in confinement. The party, you just watched Meatstick suddenly abruptly, you kind of just bank right and just walk through this crowd, beelining. Everyone, so again, because you guys have not been in this whale for more than a few days, everyone seems to be very familiar with Meatstick already. Because as it's like, everybody move!
Yeah.
Like, you guys basically have the Fezzik effect as Meatstick just thudding through the crowd. Over the music, people immediately like move out of the way as they see Meatstick coming.
You hear amongst the echoing music and people shifting out of the way the occasional, my apologies, sorry. My apologies.
It would be like it would be like if a Goliath was a Canadian.
Oh man, please start
If
Twitter
Grog
account
was a
at
Canadian.
Goliath.
Yeah. And that joke's for you, Mike Fox. Stay warm up there, buddy.
Canadian
all right.
winters.
So you guys push through the crowd. There are two bodyguards standing flanking the doorway. They look a little questionable as you're approaching, Meatstick. One of them stops and says, "Boy, Meatstick, what you doing? Who are these? Who are they?"
These are actually prisoners. I have taken them through a previous familiarity, and I'm about to bring them down to the facility where we've been keeping our other prisoners.
Let's see how Meatstick rolls on convince, shall we?
Alrighty.
This is a presence convince roll. It's going to be contested.
Oh no! Please don't take us captive.
Right. Oh.
I hate prison.
It's
Can
Terrible.
I drop in a bit of an assist from that?
You do actually.
Okay.
I don't. I really
Okay.
do.
15 will do it. He got an 11. So he goes, looks at all of you, kind of narrows his eyes, noticing how compliant everyone is, and then Roko, of course, just, oh no.
He's really scary. Would you want to fight him?
Glances over at his counterpart, and which is this, I mean, like thick woman who's just like who's got like this massive like steel bat on just leveled up on her shoulders, and she's chewing on something, and she just goes, "I don't care, man. Whatever." She just goes back and looking at the crowd. And, yeah, all right. Boss trusts you. Go on in.
Do you want to split up? Do you want to take? I could talk to Ezekiel very quickly and maybe get our labyrinth circuit back while you free your friends, perhaps.
Would be excellent. Do you expect much trouble?
No. I think I'm just going to be stern. I think it'll be fine.
Do you want me to go with you?
Oh, I think I'll be fine.
Haven't we had enough of people splitting apart?
It's a bit dangerous. What if we collect our friends and come to back you up?
Very well, very well.
Down the long hallway, tinted red. It's steel. It looks rusted. This is the hull of a ship. Meatstick is kind of like you've got to kind of keep your chin, your tentacles down towards your chest because of the size of the hallway. Yeah. You come to the end of the hallway where you see another guard who is flipping through what looks like an old magazine. Looks like it's soggy and looks like it's probably been through. Looks like it's probably a magazine that's been printed in oil. He looks up and sees y'all and just goes, "Hey, Meatstick.
Hello.
You might want to be careful. She's still violent.
Not to worry. I'll put her down.
Come on in." You open the door. It's a single room. It's a large room, but it's a single room. Nobody else is in here except for you see across the room is Finn. You see Finn. Come on in. Finn in her binders. Finn is bound up with looks like claspers. One of them looks like it's blinking blue. Finn, you already know that they learned the hard way that arm of yours can crush bone. The claspers that they have on you right now are ionizing your arm. You cannot use that cybernetic arm at all. It's dead weight, and it's hard to lift up your other arm against it. So you basically, your throat is getting raw from shouting profanities. Roko, when you see Finn, she's not in the best of shape. You see bruising all over the side of her face where they probably had to pound on her repeatedly to get her to calm down. Next to her, however, sitting there with a look in his eyes that speaks the profanity that Finn is actually shouting, you see also bound up and in fact gagged is a very, very defiant, angry-looking Suntaran who is clasped together.
Am I not gagged as well?
No, your gag has actually been chewed to the point where it's like down to the side. This is the third gag that they've gone through with you. It looks like they used, let me put it this way, it looks like they used the tech collar that's doubling as a gag on the Suntaran. Looks like they were more concerned with keeping the Suntaran quiet than hearing you swear. Probably because there's only so many times you can hear "You're all going to die, the glory of the Suntaran Empire." There's only so many times you can hear singing an opera, a preemptive funeral dirge for everyone who's going to be laid wasted when he escapes. Like they were like they had to make the hard call and they picked Derek. So, but yeah, you guys, the door opens. Finn, both of you, you're expecting to see more of your torturers walk in when the room fills with the doctor and your companions, led by Meatstick.
Roko! My captain, and I run.
Dramatic. You slide across the floor. Roko throws their hands around you. Yeah.
We always seem to meet in prisons.
Yeah.
Ow! It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Not interrupting their hugging at all. I want to get her bracers off.
Okay. River just lays back and is just kind of watching the door a little bit.
It's everything to see you again.
Do I need to roll for that?
What are you doing? You're gonna try. Oh, you're gonna
get her
You weren't there and
binds
I
off.
looked and I couldn't.
Remind me. Do you have a Sonic?
I do not have a
You do
Sonic.
not have a Sonic. You're gonna have to get over to her and actually fiddle with it.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Okay, cool. So you walk
Staying in
over,
prison
and
is
as
one
they're
of my
talking,
favorite
you
things to
see
do with you.
again. Yes, these things are ionized.
Well,
One of them.
Go
anyway.
ahead and make.
We
This
have
is kind of
quite
what
a
you
day
do,
ahead of
isn't it?
Yeah,
So there's actually a.
Right, I'd like these off, please.
working on
Yep.
it.
I have a couple things I'd like to hit with this. Finn, Felix, it's so good to see you. Right.
So Jody, go ahead and make. This would be a coordination, and I believe this would be a. What's your subterfuge?
It's the same as my tech.
Okay, it would be either one. So go ahead and make your coordination tech roll.
Ooh,
Seems to
that
be
was
the
not
role
good.
of this entire RPG.
13.
What is it?
13.
13. You're fiddling with this. It has redundancy after redundancy after redundancy.
Oh, we don't have time for this. Hold on. I'm going to take the umbrella and make a terrible noise at the thing and
Okay.
shatter it.
You point. The old man just.
Oh,
So Finn, those binders pop off, and you immediately feel this surge, this tingling, as all the neural processors that connect your arm to the rest of your body there's a sharp pain in the back of your head as all of a sudden the connection is made again. And for a split second, it almost feels the way it did when you had this arm installed. You feel this surge of agony, and then it's gone. It's like one of those ice pick headaches, and then all of a sudden, this thing comes back online, and you feel the power just coursing through it again.
Ready for that jailbreak, dear?
Wouldn't miss it, darling. I've lined up for hugs with both of them, and let's take care of this gag.
Waiting uncharacteristically patiently. Okay, so yeah, also bound up, ionized. Looks like the binders on him, probably uniformed binders, and then looks like they've got what looks like a collar that has been fashioned into Ace. With the shape of a Sontaran's head, has functioned quite well as a gag that that kind of even has this little divot underneath it that spurts out. It has a chin guard, keeping it very well fastened on his face for the most part. It's been very uncomfortable considering you don't have much of a chin, so it's kind of been pressing against your throat. Good
Can't
times.
stand to look at either of you this way. Let's fix it right now.
All right.
Do I need to roll to disable both of those?
You have a
or take
sonic,
them off?
right?
Yes.
Wave that.
Yep.
The binders come off and the thing just malfunctions on your face. You can just pull that right off now.
Oh dear. I have been saved by the doctor. Well, ninth librarian Velig, as your servant.
Ninth library.
You'll always be third librarian to me. Hog?
All right, reunited.
While this is happening, and kind of realizing the necessity of swapping positions, I lean out into the hallway at the guard that's there, say, "My apologies, but it's necessary." And I'm going to attempt to just smash his head into the side of the wall to knock him unconscious, and then take him into the cell.
Okay, go ahead, and he looks at you kind of dumbfounded when you're talking to him. Go ahead and make your roll. This is going to be your strength. You have, and I believe this is actually what you're good at. This is fighting.
Yep.
Yep.
It's 19.
I seriously doubt he's going to beat a 19.
How do you like 19?
He did not beat a 19. So you, what?
I'm in the middle of my
19
flying hug
what's
to
your
Finn
strength?
when this happens, where I'm like,
Strength
oh
is
my.
6.
Strength is 6. Hold on.
Oi.
Okay, yeah. You one-shot this guy. You reach out. You all hear the sort of sick thudding sound against the metal plates outside.
I come back into the chamber and say, "Well, we still have use for those manacles," and just kind of plop them over on the
He's
edge.
palming this guy's head as he walks in and just drops him on the ground.
Oh, Missy, a bit careful if you would.
Does the guard have any weapons on him?
Yeah, he has what looks like a firearm slung around his shoulder. An old style laser gun. Old style. But
I'm gonna
lethal.
actually give it to Finn though.
Be perfect.
Wow. I gave you a gun.
Takes the gun off the guard and hands it to Finn.
I have a gun. I'm okay.
I don't know what's changed, but I like it. Velig.
If you see the extra sword, give it to me.
Right. It's been a pleasure fighting with you. You want to do some more?
I do beg your pardon. And who are you?
Oh, Professor Credonis. Pleasure. Hello. Yes.
I found an old friend.
Oh, aren't you fun?
We are rapidly running out of time and in danger. We should.
So that's a Tuesday for us then, is it?
Okay.
Right. So we need to go get your
that's a
piece of the
Tuesday
labyrinth
for us.
circuit and then get out of the whale.
It is possible to escape the whale, but only if we turn off the labyrinth circuit that Professor Chronotis here has designed to protect, actually, this whale from the TGs. You all have been working together on the same side, actually. Along with, this is River's song. It's a bit her fault we all got separated, but she's very sorry.
You've heard the name River Song. River Song was one of the higher ranking, in fact, might even be one of the people that instigated the rebellion against the Time Lords. She has been
Make me like River Song.
she has been sort of a shadowy figure,
Okay.
helping the Time Lords coordinate against the War Council. She has just as much of a dubious reputation among the Time Lords for some of the things. Let me put it this way: you've had a little bit more information, a little bit more exposure than most people to River. River came highly regarded among the Time Lord community. You know that in the past few years, there has been a shift in her tactics that has been surprising, to say the least. And she's become, let's put it this way, you're very aware that in just the past few years of the rebellion, she's become a little more cold and calculating, a little more, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cruel.
No, it's more like, not tyrannical, but...
Massive.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Callous.
Callous would be a good way of describing it. She's become much more calculating, less a win at all cost kind of person.
Ruthless.
Ruthless. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. She's gone kind of a little bit of a Lex Luthor route, and while it actually has gained the Resistance a lot of ground, it's made her very unpopular. To see her face to face, you weren't even sure she was real for a while, but you knew that she used to travel with the Doctor. But when she's introduced to you, she just kind of nods.
What about you?
Well, that just shows that I'm getting sloppy.
Can I go punch some things now?
I have a plan.
Wait, what?
I have a plan. I have been working on it since we have been imprisoned. We blow up everything, destroy everyone, and escape. Hurrah!
Well, now that we've considered that plan, let's make a different one. Do you happen to know if Rennick and Ava and Trep are all right? Did you see what happened to them?
They weren't here. They were not brought in.
No, I just assumed they were with you.
Oh, no.
Would my plan be better if I didn't say hurrah at the end of the sentence?
Quite similar, really.
Oh.
You're traveling with the Centauran now. That's interesting.
You're
I'm
going to
not
talk to
judging.
me about strange choices.
What? She doesn't say anything at that point. She just kind of turns away and goes back to watching the door.
Meatstick, were there any other prisoners that were brought in with this group? Or just these three?
As I finish putting
Two.
the manacles on the guard who's unconscious, and if I can, I know it may have a malfunction, take the gag and try and place it in his mouth to try and not allow him to alarm anyone verbally. I turn back.
You take the metal gag, I'm guessing, from
Yeah.
the Centauran. Okay, so taking it, you're trying to get it on. You see that the Doctor's screwdriver has actually short-circuited the locking mechanism on the back. It's probably going to need to be tightened or fitted around his head to get it to stay on. So as you proceed to do that,
It's metallic all the way around.
yeah.
I bend it around the head and then just kind of take the metal in the back and twist it like a twisty tie.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna have you roll for that. I'm just gonna see.
No, I want to use a story point for that.
You want
Can
to
I?
use this? Okay.
I just want to.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, you just kind of squeeze it down. There is no doubt in your mind that it's going to require a welding torch to remove that at this point. They
Wonderful.
want to get it off.
I feel
he's not
accomplished.
taking that off. You're pretty sure he might need some dental work afterwards. as well?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, the crunch. Nobody seems to have heard it. You lean back.
So I'm sorry.
Oh,
What was
I
your
heard
question?
it.
Were there any other prisoners besides these two that were brought in?
Did I see or know of any other prisoners that were kept here?
No.
On the previous ship's crew? or
The
anything?
only people that were brought in there was no sign of the other, because you're familiar with that crew. You
Yeah,
came
yeah,
to
they're the
the
ones.
asteroid. The others, there was no sign of them at the crash site.
Yeah. My apologies, but it appears that it was only your current companions. No sign of the previous ship.
Right.
Poor Ava.
Anyway, if
Sorry
we are
about
to do
Ava.
something, we should do it soon.
Yes. Do you know the way to Ezekiel's office?
I imagine I would. I do indeed. Would you like to go?
Yes. Let's try to avoid harming anyone we don't have to. If we can get through this through, let's say, diplomacy.
That we do not have to. Good to know.
I am picturing this group walking down this hallway right now. We've got
Scurrying.
3 Time Lords, a Centauran, a half Time Lord. We've got Meatstick, these two, the pirates. Like, it's
And
You guys-
Celine and Zeep.
There's
very
guitar
quietly.
riffs playing. We're going in slow motion. It's
yeah.
pretty
This
awesome.
is the Tombstone Walk.
Oh yeah, and little
Yep.
Zeeps in the back.
Okay, so yes, and this it would have been a whole different Wizard of Oz. The Wicked Witch. Just take it, just take it, just take it. You guys come walking out of the prisoner cell. The 2 guards, they see Meatstick come out first, and then they see the prisoners come. Like, you see the recognition on their face. very, to their credit, when they see all of you coming out, you see the question, like, what do we do? Like, look on their faces. They're suddenly looking around, and then they just decide not to do anything as they see, especially because they get they get the raised eyebrow look from the Centauran. You kind of, as you recognize these guys as the ones that kind of pounded you all down and clasped you in irons and threw you into this thing. Now that you're free and you come thudding out, the only person that's making as much noise as Meatstick coming out of this thing is the small tank that is the Centauran backing everybody up. And as you kind of angle yourself through the doorway and come walking in and give this guy a glance, you see he takes his finger away from the trigger and just kind of lowers the gun and makes no move to stop you. The woman stops chewing on whatever she's chewing and just freezes and watches, and also makes no movement.
Hello. Violence and chaos are not needed at this time. Merely violence. I proceed with violence.
What are you gonna do?
I
Something?
will punch a wall next to the young man's head in order to show how serious I am.
Okay.
Have you said all that out loud?
I'm sure he did.
So
Is that inside or outside voice?
That is my inside and outside.
There is no distinction between
Of
the two.
course. Why would there be an inside or outside voice?
Right.
the thudding noise of his meaty fist smashing into the bulkhead of this the wall can actually be heard over the pounding sound of the beat of this music. It's basically, to give you an idea of how loud that is, picture being inside. Picture the Alpha party we were at
Oh, man.
at WonderCon that was so freaking loud, and you picture being able to actually hear somebody punching a wall over the sound of that music.
Wow.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Right. They
Bang.
may know we're coming.
Again, the crowd. When the crowd parts as you guys walk, it's not getting out of Meatstick's way. Everyone seems to be aware that shit is going down, and the whole dance floor begins to spread apart. You see Finn, especially because you've been around this enough. Corsair, everyone who's been around sort of this sort of lifestyle, River too. Everyone notices people. They're not putting hands on weapons, but it looks like they're getting in like a position where if they had to, they're close by. But everyone looks nervous as the dance floor begins to part, like the Red Sea just whoosh, everyone just gets out of the way as you guys come walking through. No one says a word. The music keeps playing. The DJ up the top, which looks like sort of like a cheap sort of droid robotic figure, also just stops and starts to stare. You guys beeline for the office in the back. One of the henchmen that sees y'all coming.
As a note, when the DJ stops, I kind of look over with my creepy, giant, mutated Ood face and say, "Oh, please, do not stop on account of us," and continue walking.
I'm going to assume he hears that in his head. This organic sort of like cybernetic creature that's all jointed, like it has like a metal face and everything, and you can kind of see a brain visible underneath behind it, and stops and kind of goes back to trying to pretend like it's jamming out to the music and like looking, but obviously looking kind of nervous.
I kind of slightly lean into the doctor. My apologies. This is my favorite album.
Good to know.
As you all approach the door, which you see guarded, the first thing that is noticed, Chronotus, you see the alarmed face of Pinnock guarding that door, seeing you approach. The human male who's decked out in sort of like shoddy body armor he's got a couple of guns across his waist and a sword on his back. As you approach, you see him. You see him turn a shade of pale as you approach, and he stiffens and puts his hand on the door and knocks a couple of times.
Hello, I'm the doctor, and I believe. Oh, never mind. I don't know who you are, do I?
What could have possessed you, young man?
He says, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you take leave of your senses? Did you not understand the gravity of what you have done? Return my property!
I don't have nothing of yours. Sorry.
Is this Pinnock?
Yes, this is Pinnock, and you will take us to Ezekiel, whatever his name is. You do haste!
Yeah. Meatstick, why don't you stay here with them, and I'll go tell the boss he's got company.
I think maybe we'll come with you.
He looks like he's kind of like frozen, like he doesn't know what to do. He says,
I slowly lean in as to says, "I'm sorry if you misheard. My current master says that we ought to come with you.
When the words current master drop, he just goes,
I think you've taken something that doesn't belong to you.
Did you not hear him? Was he using his indoor voice?
Right, yeah, no, you're right, yeah, no, sure, Professor, yeah, everyone, meat stick, yeah, we're friends. We're friends, you're welcome here. Yeah, yeah. He pulls the door open and says, sorry, you got some company, boss. Sorry. He opens the door. You see an office inside, and you hear someone shouting, well, let him in, let him in.
Okay. I clasp my giant meaty hand on his shoulder and turn him to the front and just kind of walk him ahead of me as we enter.
He's like a doll. You just kind of push him forward, and he goes. You guys come thudding in. First, Meat Stick, flanked by the Centauran, who's like wide-shouldered. Just kind of you angle yourself to get to the door as you kind of step into the room. Followed by Chronotis, followed by everybody. Everyone just kind of fans out. Sitting at this desk that again looks like an old commander's desk, probably from a ship. You see a very unintimidating-looking human male. You kind of feel a little bit of humor. Doctor, it's sad, but apparently Zeeps and Cillian, who are, I'm assuming, back in the TARDIS,
Right.
they apparently weren't wrong. It's a human crime lord. He probably looks like he might be 17 years old. Kind of looks doesn't look very well fed. Looks kind of thin. Has sort of like this really awesome like punked haircut, kind of like shaved on the sides and a mohawk going back. Aside from that, does not look particularly intimidating. Behind a desk with his feet kicked up, you see there's a couple of people in here, also bodyguards, various races, also armed, kind of spread apart. There's about 7 of them in this room. And as you enter, it looks like you've interrupted a meeting, and they all kind of break apart and spread out to the sides. This place looks like, you might imagine, it looks like a crappy room made of steel and rust that's been sort of, I like to think of Badger from Serenity, how they've got this sort of like really crappy space that he's made the best of.
Sad little king of a sad little hill.
So like red carpets and like art and crap like that. If you didn't know any better, Fenn, you would think you walked into a modern day pirate's like captain's quarters. Everyone kind of parts, and you see
Commandeered ships with captains like him.
as everyone parts, Chronotis, this will be your first time actually seeing. Actually, I think this is your first time coming face to face.
Yes.
With Tezakiel. Tezakiel, it occurs to you suddenly when you see Tezakiel, Chronotis. Tezakiel is one of the members of the ruling council of Cosm. You've encountered them before when you first arrived because you kind of needed to know the lay of the land. This little kid is one of the members of the governing body that rules this city. Might be one of the reasons why he keeps the identity on the down low. You're not sure, but it is a bit of a surprise to see it. You all filter into the room, and you're standing in front of him. He doesn't say anything when he sees you guys. He just kind of leans back in his chair and looks at Meat Stick kind of expectingly.
Tezakiel, my apologies for interrupting. However, it appears that you have been requested to grant an audience to my new master.
Hello, I'm the doctor.
New master. Yeah, I thought that was too good to be true. All right. Feet goes off the desk and says, hello, what is it, the doctor? What, you want the first half of your ship back, I guess?
Well, we were traveling with some others, but we have more pressing matters to deal with.
Sure. Let's do business.
First of all, shouldn't you be in school? Don't they have schools here?
You see everyone in the room stiffen suddenly. Like maybe you just said the one thing you should never say to this kid. And you see the look on his face. And he takes his feet down off and he leans forward and he's like, I'm aware there's a lot of cultures that come from across the galaxy, and I know every culture has its own pastime, like a game, right? And one of these games, multiple games actually, have a 3-strike rule. I've got a 1-strike rule. You just used it.
Well, you learned that in school, did you?
So we're gonna roll initiative.
Yeah, I think now
Yes.
that means we strike him.
Yep.
That is the best. That is the best. Like,
Oh, wait, we don't roll for.
like I was
Yeah.
like, how? Nope, no. Darren
Yeah.
just pushed it over the edge. Like that was the perfect thing to say to send this right into combat. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start off now. A quick reminder to everybody. If you're going to spend story points, spend them before you roll dice. And also to let you know, you can spend story points after you roll dice to bump up your level of success or failure by 1. But you can only do it once. I'm house ruling that a little bit because I've seen the abuse that can take place, and I need more consequence from the roll. So I'm gonna make it so you can do it once. Also, this follows, just a quick reminder too, we follow a little bit of a different initiative, like you've seen combat now,
Yeah.
Matt. So yeah, this is a little bit weird. We don't roll dice. We just go talkers, runners, doers, fighters. So, first round, I can tell you now.
I don't have my weapon. My weapon was taken from me.
Yeah, Blue Death is actually not in sight. Like
Great,
it's
so I
not
just
on
have
you.
me.
Yeah.
Great.
So we're gonna go ahead and start with talkers. Is anybody gonna try to?
You were
talk
about to
this
say what
down?
they
The
were going to
doctor.
do. Yeah.
Okay, the doctor. Nobody. And Rocco, you're also going to do it.
Yeah, but the doctor goes first because slow reflexes.
Oh, okay.
What
Cool.
did you say they were going to do?
I'm announcing their intentions because usually you declare your intentions at the beginning of combat. I'm guessing people like, and you can correct me here. I'm guessing Meatstick, Finn, Velig, are all, and Corsair. You guys are all going to be fighters. Am I right?
Yep.
See,
I might be a talker actually.
Might be a talker.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Cronotus, I'm dying to know what you're going to do. Watch.
I'm watching.
I knew it.
Well, there's going to be a doing eventually.
Yes, that's right. So doing would be right before fighting. So
Yeah.
do you want to do it? Do you want to hold that for like a doing action?
I'm holding for a doing action.
All right. Okay, so then Talkers is up first. They're all fighting. Everyone's pulling steel. So, Doctor, here's your moment if you want to defuse this.
Hold on, Jazakiel. I didn't mean any insult. I've met a lot of humans. You've got tremendous intelligence and imagination. I just thought you might be able to use it more productively. There's no need for any hostility.
All right, make a roll. That's going to be your presence plus convince against his
Not as high as I wish it
presence
were.
plus resolve.
8. Does charming help with this?
Yes, it absolutely does.
I forgot to write down what it does. Does it
It
plus
gives you a
Plus
plus
bonus
2.
to being charmed.
It's what's up?
So that's a base 10 and
Nice,
Dalek and 15.
nice. Wow, very well done. Yes. Okay. So, upon saying all of this, it's basically like, and I'll let the party decide if combat continues, but basically it's like, again, a Tombstone reference. When they're at the OK Corral, hands go to guns, and there's whoa, 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 and everyone kind of stops for a second. No one pulls steel. So you guys, you actually managed to beat his resolve rating. So you see Tezekiel, like he goes staring like he was gonna pull his gun on Velig there, but he stops when you say that, and everyone freezes in the room. Everyone's got their hands on their weapons.
Did you want to? Because we think we're both talking.
Rocco, I believe you're next. If you
One
wanna-
quick reflex.
Yeah, so then you would go before I.
go. Okay.
Who else is talking? So yeah, you're gonna go first. Okay,
Okay.
so
Oh, you should have gone before me. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
You did fine.
you guys can actually, when it comes to like this, I'll let the party decide if you guys want to let somebody
I
else
would
go
have let the
first.
doctor
Yeah.
talk first. Anyway. Look, what you built here is wonderful. We're not here to disrupt that all. Your man, Pinnock, just took something from our friend. We just want to get it back. That's all.
I'll also have you roll a presence convince. You guys might diffuse this before it ever gets to.
My base
Since
for this
Rachel
is
Velig gets a
14, so
Is what?
My base for this is 14 before I roll any dice.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got a pretty decent result.
20.
Yeah.
20.
Yep.
So 5. Yeah. That's actually enough. You see he slowly takes his hand off of his gun. Everyone begins to relax a little bit. Does anybody want to continue going? Because Rocco, technically you have next, but it looks like It looks like when you see him take his hand off of his gun, everyone in the group sort of follows his lead and starts to lower it a little bit. Okay, so unless anybody wants to proceed with violence, I'm going to assume that combat is actually not moving past talking phase. We're good? Unless anybody wants to start it
Good
up.
lad.
Okay. So everybody goes. It's basically like a samurai standoff, and you guys kind of pause for a second, and weapons go. Probably the most intimidating fact is that Meatstick didn't even move. There was no just like people were gonna die just now, but now things look like it's gonna be chilled. So he lowers and says, "What do you want?"
I just heavily pat the shoulder of the gentleman in front of me.
He, yeah, Pennick looks terrified.
I want what you stole from me, and we need to come up with a better system to keep this place protected.
I believe you know this gentleman.
This is chaos, and we have not met properly, I don't believe. Professor Cronotis, from the Hill.
He. No, you're the professor?
Did you think I wouldn't notice?
He looks at Pennick, and Pennick just nods, and you see him sort of like, his shoulders go back, the body language changes suddenly, and he just says, "I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Everyone, it's all right. It's the professor. He's a friend. We've been doing business. Are they with you?" And he points to Meatstick and everybody else. He points to Finn.
Who?
And the Sontaran.
Yes, they're with me. Yes. Oh, my, there's a lot of us. Yes.
Do tend to make friends everywhere I go. Happy trait.
Ah, well, then you have my apologies for the way you were treated. See, the way the rules work in this town is first claim to salvage rights is whoever arrives on the scene first.
You salvaged my apartment.
No, wait a minute. I didn't steal anything from you. You and I have an understanding, and I don't go back on business.
Also, point of order, my friends are not salvage.
Well, to be fair, when we found the first part of the craft, they were a bit uncooperative, and my men told me that they were part of a salvage crew that was trying to lay claim to it first.
Is my face part of the salvage?
And he takes a look at it and he says, "You don't need anything salvaging with that face."
Careful, lad.
We
I feel better boys than you.
The temperature on that edge of the table just...
obviously temperatures are high. But Pennick, did you take the labyrinth circuit from my apartment?
I shift him around to face the professor.
He pivots. There's almost... He's kind of winces as his ankle doesn't necessarily follow at the same speed as the rest of his body. As you pivot him around, you are now facing Pennick, who...
Gently.
Yes,
Pennick,
a bit, please.
Pennick has... you don't even really need to roll to see how he's doing. There is very clearly a cold sweat that has begun to form at the top of his brow. And Tizakiel just goes, "Pennick, you steal something that maybe you shouldn't have taken. Maybe went back on a business arrangement that I set up with this one here, making me look bad, Pennick? Is that what you did?" And Pennick is like, he's a ghost at this point. He doesn't say anything. He's completely locked up and looking absolutely terrified.
May I insight check to see whether Tizakiel's trying to throw Pennick under the bus?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
What attribute skill?
So this is going to be an awareness and...
So awareness.
Do you have a subterfuge rating? I don't know that it would be that.
I do. Hang on. My empathetic actually.
Oh, yeah.
An awareness plus ingenuity roll to try to
That's
read
right.
another's action, see if they're lying.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Awareness plus ingenuity. 11 plus 9 is 20 plus 22.
He is. He is absolutely throwing his henchman under the bus. You can feel, you immediately get that sense.
Would you like to try that story again, Tazakiel, dear? With the truth?
It's an interesting
Zakiel looks at you and
question.
says, story? I think Pinnock here is the one that's got the story. Isn't that right?
I step closer to Ezekiel.
Pinnock at this point just goes, yeah, I've got the story. As you step closer, hands once again go to weapons as you get closer to the desk. And you
Please.
can all hear,
Just giving you a
Please,
closer
no,
look at his
no
fine
violence, no
face.
violence, please. Please, I can't have any of that. Pennick. I would like to think we're friends. I've been good. Now, this situation gets very different if you just be truthful with me about what happened. I'm ignoring Ezekiel.
okay. Tal, do you want to try to
Yeah, sure.
give him the look?
I can give him a look.
Okay, make an awareness presence roll. Or no, this would be convince. Do you have convince? should have
I do
advantage.
have convince. Convince and what?
This would be presence and convince.
Presence and convince.
So it's 2d6 and add those together.
Plus my normal, but plus my bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. 18.
18? Mm-hmm. I need everyone else who's watching this real quick to make an awareness presence roll.
Awareness
It's going to be
presence?
pretty difficult.
Does anything go? Do any other traits
use
go
a
into
story
it?
point.
It's just straight up awareness. You're going to use a story point.
Use a story point.
I'm also going
That'll
to
give
use
you 2
this.
extra d6. So you're going to roll 4d6 and add it to your attribute.
Gotcha.
and trait.
Just because I'm right next to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also going to use a story point.
Okay.
So wait, we roll
You
4
burn it.
d6?
So 4d6 and add those 2 traits together.
Which
11.
was the other trait? Awareness?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's awareness and no, I'm sorry. It's awareness resolve.
Oh,
Okay.
well then, okay.
Yeah, it's always perception is always awareness resolve.
Do any bonuses come into play here?
Not unless you've got a merit that gives you like perception or
22.
22.
21.
22. Wow, nicely done.
Wow.
Just sort of
23.
turn of the universe
23?
for me. Woo, double dollar. 11.
13.
13. You don't see nothing. So who got the 23?
I did.
Okay. So who got 20 and higher? Okay.
Without a story point.
So you guys who got 20 and higher, you see Chronotis as being, as Chronotis leans in and says this to Pennock, you kind of get the impression that this is a Time Lord who can use the fact that he's a Time Lord to, the possibilities of what he might be capable of is enough to intimidate. Plus that the fact that he's got a bit of a reputation, and you see Pennock kind of like, you see him bending under the presence of this. Jody, you got a 23.
Yes.
You see there's something in Chronotis' eyes that chills you to your core. As the Corsair, there's something about that look. It was a flash, just a moment of Chronotis just kind of giving him a look. It was just a very simple look. And you're like, you've seen this look before. You've seen it in people who are going to commit murder. You've seen this brief, cold stare that this bumbling old man gives Pennock. And Pennock apparently is also very aware of it, since he rolled 2 Daleks to try to resist being intimidated.
I mean, I feel like what we've seen outside of his TARDIS, that wouldn't be a huge surprise.
No, it's not really,
I
not really.
mean-
You see a flash of whoever, let's put it this way, Chronotis being capable of what you found wandering up to his TARDIS, you're probably getting a flash of what those creatures saw. And Pennock, there's no mistaking the smell of urine that is now collecting at the bottom of his feet right now. And as Chronotis very calmly says, "We're friends, right?" Pennock loses control of himself and then says, "He made me do it. He made me do it. He told me to steal it from you. I didn't do anything. I
I
swear to
know.
God."
It's all right.
Now we're going to start initiative again.
We're starting initiative again?
Yeah. We're going to go into combat. Unless... Did you...
I'm saying everything's fine. I'm going to try and calm everybody down.
Okay, so then we're going to go into initiative because everyone's going to pull steel. If you want to try talking this down again, it's going to be really hard this time, though.
All right.
To announce the intention, it's very clear just from what's about to happen as he goes for his gun. It looks like Tazakiel's about to put a bullet through Pennick's head.
I have quick reflexes,
So then
which
you...
I'm going to enact this time to move Pennick behind me
Okay.
and use myself as a shield for the time being.
Okay, then that was going to take place on
Me
the
shield.
doer's action, so you will go before a shot goes off.
Okay.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Pennick is very dear to me. Trust is so important. And I think we all need to work together to maintain trust. So let me make a proposition. Let Pennick go. He will continue to work for me. He will go reinstall the circuit that was taken, and we will understand that my property is not to be meddled with. And just the two of us, and one guard each, will just sit down and renegotiate terms. I am well aware of how powerful you are in this community. I have nothing but respect for your position, and I imagine you have nothing but respect for mine. Please.
Were there any other talkers after you? Because I'm going to let you do this first. Okay, so, and you're okay. So then, what we'll do this? We're going to start with talkers. You go first. You just give the speech. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go ahead and just make our roll to see if you get a convince in on this guy. I'm going to give you a +2 bonus because that was actually a pretty good little thing you got going there, Tal. Okay, so this is going to be a presence plus convince roll with a +2 bonus. I'm giving him a bonus too because he's once again been brought to the brink. I'm going to spend a story point. Raise that up. All right, tell me what you get.
What am I rolling?
So it's going to be presence plus convince. Ooh.
Presence plus convince.
Yeah.
And I have, okay. Plus I have a bonus.
Okay. Yeah, you get a +2. +2 to the roll.
I can spend a story point?
You can before you roll, yeah. If you want to
Yeah.
throw in 4 6-sided dice.
Yeah. So.
Every time there's a moment where I'm waiting to see Meatstick and Veleg throw the smack down, everyone brings it back from like the brink of destruction.
31.
31.
I rolled 2 6s.
2 TARDISes?
2 TARDISes. Well, technically they were crit rolls because there are dice, but yes.
See what he did there? See what he did there? All right.
The whole room. I'm just trying to get the whole room to see reason.
So you basically smashed that roll.
One guard each. We negotiate terms. Everybody gets to keep what they want.
At this point, I'm going to advance the initiative just to the doer part because you guys are going to talk too if you want. But at this point, since it looks like first of all, you creamed that roll, so they're not going to pull weapons. Pennick goes behind you. Everyone else is on edge. What's up?
I'd like to talk.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Tell me when I can. And
Who else wanted to? Did anybody else want to chime in real quick? Because this is still technically the first round of initiative. It's not going to go past this round.
I'm
unless
liking
you guys.
to talk, but I'm waiting to hear the response. Really.
Okay.
And I have slow reflexes, so I
So-
go at the bottom of any
So
initiative
Roko's just
order.
like. I would like to.
I don't want to interrupt.
I'm sorry to be rude.
One guard each.
What did you want to say, Darren?
Well, you see, in situations like this, I've often found that the tension in the room can be cut by a bit of, shall we say, Sontaran opera. Are you familiar with
you hear
Sontaran
some of the
opera?
guys go, no,
Can we
please,
clear the room?
please.
Can I borrow meat?
Perhaps that's why you
He'll
put a
just
muzzle
make sure
on.
everything's fine. He'll make sure that everybody stays all right and everybody gets out unharmed. You head to the TARDIS, take Pennick, make sure he's safe, and make sure he runs to turn off and turn on the labyrinth circuit, and we'll all get out of here.
Tazakiel says, all right, we'll call this a no harm, no foul negotiation. You get back your labyrinth circuit. You can keep him as your toady if you like.
You're welcome, Sontaran Opera.
Yeah,
Always diffuses the situation.
all of the men in the room were just like, no, please, like no. So you and I work things out then.
Yes.
Professor, I have no intention of leaving Meatstick alone again.
I'll bring him back with me. He'll be fine, and as long as he listens, he'll listen to you and come back when everything is resolved and bring me to you. He's very big. I trust him. If you trust him.
There are a few people in this room I don't trust, as we've just learned we can't. So I think I'll stay with you. Just keep an eye on things.
I'm nervous about speaking of this sort of deal in front of too many people. As few as possible. You even take Meatstick if you have to, and I'll just speak alone if it comes to it. I've done business here for a long time. I have faith in my ability to broker a deal that saves everybody. I'm a Time Lord, after all.
Roko is like crawling in your skin right now.
Well, I would just like to actually insight check that because Chronotis really wants to be left alone.
Actually, I'm going to also, based on what I
Please.
Okay,
saw.
this is a
Thank you.
contested roll.
Excellent.
Okay.
Contested roll. So this is going to be your awareness.
Awareness, ingenuity versus
Yeah.
lying.
Awareness, ingenuity versus this is going to be your presence plus subterfuge, Tal.
Presence plus subterfuge?
Yeah,
I think I actually get a bonus for that too.
I
don't
think you do.
Yeah. All
I
right.
think I would rather like a story point.
So go ahead and
Captain.
make your
Thank you.
go ahead and make your rolls.
Yeah, I'll do a story point for you.
Okay.
I will too,
46.
if everyone's doing
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
right? We're spending up.
Hey, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen. Someone's going to spend a story point. Everyone gets suspicious. Everyone spends a story point.
Let me make sure I'm doing this right.
I will say also, Veleg, you did see a measure of relief come across their face because 3 of the men who were standing closest to you were actually in melee range when guns are getting pulled. And so when it looked like there wasn't going to be a fight, you can
watch me.
visibly
You've never
see
watched
some
this
relief
before,
on
have
their
you?
face as they notice they
It's
don't
hateful.
have to
It's hateful.
they don't
isn't
have to
it?
tangle with you. You kind of
Fun.
just feel like they just get that hello. What'd you guys roll?
25.
25.
Oh, like 32.
Also 32.
Fascinating, Captain.
Can she
okay.
get the base layer? I do have like a.
What's that?
Like I mean,
They, but yes.
just get like a. Is that a? What,
Like with Dex beating an initiative thing?
No, so what's going to happen is it's yes, but. You succeed, but.
So I do. Yeah, I can give something. So.
Yeah, so I'll let you, because the thing is you will succeed in that you're going to be able to read a little bit of what Chronotis is, what the deal is here, but it's a yes, but. So you get the idea that Chronotis is like that Chronotis really does want to sit here and have this talk, but you're not going to necessarily get why.
You know he's merely a simple Time Lord, and just you get the exasperated resolve at this point. I'm done. I'm sticking to my guns.
It looks like there might be
really not
some.
much.
The impression you're getting is Chronotis might be sort of wants to diffuse this and feels like maybe the room and everybody in it and all the evil looks that Finn is giving this kid for the flirtatious comment and Veleg wanting to both break people in half and sing and just the presence of Meatstick, like everything, as well as River in the back who has actually drawn steel and no one has noticed. It's just kind of dangling next to her knee. Like everybody, you kind of get the impression that they just want the room to be diffused. That Chronotis. That's kind of the. By the way, 32 is epic. The roll for Doctor Who, the difficulty level goes up to 30 on the table, which it characterizes as nearly impossible. So that was an astonishing couple of rolls. Just now. All right, so yeah, that's where we stand.
Social player.
Sure, you pick your bodyguard, I'll pick my bodyguard, we'll call it even. And I guess you get the circuit back. Is that what you want?
Oh yes, please give them the circuit. I'll take the woman if you want to keep the ood. I don't know.
Professor.
They made a deal for one, and I trust you to get everything else taken care of. We're friends. Well, versions of us.
You're an old friend, but
I need to keep this place safe. This
and
is the best way
letting
to
this
do it.
child's criminal enterprise the best way to do that.
Absolutely.
Let it thrive.
It's either his or someone else's.
A permanent blight on the beautiful world they've created here.
It's the only way things get into the community.
Why? Well,
Because we're
humans are more
criminals.
creative than that.
Because this is a place of criminals. The Time Lords have seen to that. This is how we keep everybody safe. I've struggled with it, but this is the best way. The best way is for us to fix the rips in the universe. But I need to make sure that this place is guarded while I'm gone. And I trust Pennek.
Do you? What?
I'll just be a moment. And even this child, he has more power than even you know. He's politically connected, and even with this, he does do good work.
Well, he should be capable of better than this, shouldn't he?
And once the Time Lords have been taken care of, he will. I'll see to it.
I take it you're not happy with the fact that they're talking his praises right now.
No, actually, I have a different thought.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, he's a.
yeah.
He can. But
He just stole from you
I know.
and then lied
I know. Well,
and tried to get poor Pennek here in trouble for it.
he's a criminal. And there will have to be some deals, especially now that I know exactly who you are. And I have a bit of leverage, don't I?
He kind of gives a small shrug, and it's kind of like a confirmation.
We need to leave.
I trust you, Professor. If anything happens to him, if you don't hold up your end of the bargain, you will see me again.
He
You won't like it.
he kind of looks at you for a second, and this might actually be the first time all of y'all have seen the doctor actually get serious with this. And he kind of cocks his head to the side and says, "Yeah, all right, fine. We'll have our deal. It'll be fine."
The kind of cruelty you engage in as part of business here, I'd say it's not a good long-term strategy.
Sorry, you don't approve.
You'll understand the long-term someday.
Sure.
I think it's a very nice place.
He just says,
Surrounded by pirates. Why do I keep doing
"You're
it?
welcome to stick around if you like."
I have things to do, people to see, worlds to save, you know.
Yes, we should get on with everything, shouldn't we?
I turn to the doctor and say,
Master Doctor,
Just the doctor.
would you prefer the female song stay behind or myself? A female song does carry quite a weapon to be a good guard and seems to have the right disposition for it. However, they instinctually have an aversion to conflict with me as well. The choice is yours.
River does know these type of people very well.
No,
Actually,
don't
I
do it,
think-
Doctor. Oh, sorry, that just popped right out.
Sorry, what was that?
Don't do it.
I'm fine either way.
River, are you willing to be our backup in this negotiation?
She says, "Well, if nothing else, it'll give you a break from me, and I can be useful finally."
I don't want a break from you. I want you back.
Should I stay then, Doctor?
I think she meant more metaphorically.
Oh, my apologies.
Yes, I can do this. I'll do it.
Excellent. Professor, another song?
Pleasure. That'll do fine.
All right.
We'll meet you back at the TARDIS then.
This won't be a moment. I think I have an idea of something that could be amenable to everyone involved after this very irregular situation.
Okay. All right. So I guess y'all are leaving. Gonna head back to the TARDIS. Okay.
I'm gonna make conversation about your favorite songs. Like, I want to know more about things that Nate
All right.
likes.
So y'all are gonna file out, and as y'all are filing out, as everyone's
I-
turning around, what's that?
Just before I go, I just want to look back at him and, with my robot arm, just give him a wink.
Okay. He kind of just watches you kind of sort of suspicious of that. As y'all are walking out,
Yep.
I'd like to say farewell to you. Stay in school, dear boy.
you see that visible jaw clench at the side of his face. And a few of the guards are kind of like side glancing and looking at him.
Patience is a sign of maturity, lad.
You turn and walk out, and a few of the men are smart enough to get out of the Centaurans' way. They just see you kind of shuffling past. You kind of push past them. You guys walk back out onto the dance floor.
Yep, push
and
Pennick out
head
with me.
back.
We do. We bring Pennick at the disco.
Okay. Gain a story point, Darren.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Gain a
so
story
much,
point.
Darren.
I've been holding on to that one in the chamber for long.
You've been sitting over there so brilliantly, patiently.
Would have been better with better to the disco with Pennick at the disco.
I want to hug you.
Real quick, this is normally when we take our break. I'm actually thinking, do you guys just want to power through, or do we want to take a break?
Can we take a quick break?
Let's take a quick break.
Quick break.
Actually, if do you want to RP us alone in the room while they all take a break, really quick?
Actually, we could do that.
Yeah.
All right, so
Really
the rest of us will
interesting.
leave, and you guys.
Then we'll take a break because this will be super fast. Will be fun.
Yeah, if you guys
So
want to take a
some
quick
VOD
bathroom break, and we'll just
later
Yeah,
and find out
later
what we
and
do.
find out.
Yes, I love it.
That's fun.
All right, interesting.
Cool, let's do that.
But don't watch.
Not being in a room.
Don't
Don't
watch
worry,
right now.
I'll make sure
Everybody
everybody
out.
watches.
Oh my
All right,
God.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
all
going
right,
one for me.
fascinating.
See you guys in a minute.
All right, cool. See y'all in a minute. Oh my. Oh. Oh,
that's exciting.
Oh, what
Yay.
fun it is to ride. All right, so we're going to give it a minute. Tal is staying. It's me. It's just me and Tal.
Awesome.
Oh, this is going to be.
Oh, out the everybody.
We're still streaming.
So we can kill the stream.
We're still with you guys. Oh, this is going to be good. We're going to wait until everyone's out of the
everyone's
studio.
out.
Just muting everybody but me and Tal. All right. Oh, I'm so. Now let me know when the cast is out of the studio. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This will not be super long.
Oh, I love this so much.
I'm so pleased.
Tal, we would never get this. We would never get this chance otherwise.
No, I'm so excited.
This is so
gonna
good.
this is gonna be so much fun.
All right. Ooh, interesting. Oh, that's great. They brought in the food. Okay, so let me know when they're all out. All right. Here we go. All right, Tal. You and River Song are standing in front of Tezekiel. He has his bodyguards filtering out of the room as well. The one he has stay in is a very large man who's carrying what looks like a shotgun, but he's got it propped up on his shoulder. And he's trying his hardest to look really intimidating, but he's kind of just sort of leaning back. He's got this smug look on his face, like he knows he could kill everybody if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Kind of like that Punisher look on his eyes. And Ezekiel leans back as everyone walks out of the room, and he just kind of says, "First of all, I just wanted to tell you I appreciate your candor. You know, took advantage of you. You're a big man for willing to work with me.
Well, these are trying times, and we must do what we must do. And the status quo is very important to me. This place must be maintained, and I understand that you're a vital part of that.
That's true.
And we can't have chaos in the system. We have to have agreements, there are rules, there's structure.
I agree.
Pretty girls make graves.
As the moment you say that, you see,
The one on the left.
okay, the moment the words come out of your mouth and you point to the one on the left, River's face goes completely blank. She quick draws her gun and puts a bullet in the bodyguard's head.
This is hardcore. Restrain him.
Bang! Gunshot. The guy he didn't even see it coming. Bullet goes right into his skull. The bodyguard drops as brains splatter all over the bulkhead behind him.
Sonic
kid-
screwdriver lock the door. I assume that the
The
music
door
will
goes.
hold us.
What's that?
I assume the music's going to cover quite a
Yeah,
bit of this.
no one's hearing a thing. As soon as that gunshot goes off, he jumps up. The guy's body hits the floor. He freezes and stares. There's a gun on the desk that he looks like he's going to go for. And as you lean forward, he stops.
Down.
He slowly sits back into his chair. River, again, a complete blank mass, just almost catatonic, still holding the gun. She pulls it back, removes the cock, and then waits.
Keep an eye on him.
She just starts staring at him.
You, sir, take dictation. Pennock is now in charge. So says the man on the hill.
Wait, you can't do...
Pennock is now in charge. So says the man on the hill. And I use telepathy to make him do it.
Okay. So that's going to be a straight roll. All right, go ahead and make your roll.
What is that, actually?
In this case, I'm just going to have you... there's not really so much as a roll here, since we're kind of like
Since we're
bending
just
around the
rolling.
mechanic.
That's right.
But I tell you what, if you want to spend a story point,
Sure.
and I'll give this
I'm
to
making him do a couple things.
Sure. So his eyes widen for a second, and he just kind of, he nods slowly, says, yeah.
Write it right now. Clearly. Handwriting is so important.
Write it.
Very clearly.
He pulls out paper. You see him pull out a data pad and paper, and he types it, then he writes it, signs his name to it.
Good lad, clever lad. Now, I have so much respect for you. Do you know that? You've done so well. I pull out of my bag a small brass snuff box, and I open it.
Okay. All
We're a
right.
lot alike. I have a one-strike policy as well. Take some snuff.
Look, I'm sorry.
I know you are.
He-
Take some snuff.
Is this the powder that I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. He reaches over, and he says,
Good night. I shove his hand in.
you shove his hand in, and there's a, and he vanishes.
I close it very gently with my gloved hand. Put a glove on, close it very gently, put it back in the bag.
Glove on, you slap back into the bag. For a second, as you're closing the box, you hear the whispers as you close it up.
Now, River, you're going to remember this going very well, and that Professor Krenotis was very kind, and everything has been worked out quite well, and you're quite impressed with my negotiating skills, and that I'm merely a simple Time Lord enjoying his retirement. And now, let's go, and please don't look back in anger. And I pack up, and I take her, and we go to meet them.
She blinks and kind of just follows you out. Follows you out
Night,
the
kids.
door. And with that, we'll be right back, I suppose, from our break. See you in a moment, folks. Welcome back to the Happy Doctor Who show.
Wait, what does that mean?
What? We're happy.
What did
Everybody's face.
you said that very
Very what?
like
Suspiciously.
Can I insight check Eric?
Sure. Eric is very delighted right now.
Okay.
You get the impression that the GM is extremely happy.
That's never a good
Yeah,
sign.
that's not a sign.
That's coming from Mercer.
I know.
It's never a good sign. This is a guy who was running a pit fiend last night. All right. So
So that's all fine.
you guys headed back to the TARDIS. Once again, a nice little walk through the city of Cosm. It is, as I described it, as y'all moving through. Neat Stick, you're actually finally getting a good view of the city. These interesting, weak creatures have done surprisingly well for themselves in this city. It's
How
quite-
pleasant.
yeah.
Spacious. I don't have to hunch the entirety of my space here. I like that.
Yeah, you
Taller
guys.
ceilings in general, yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, the TARDIS is parked just outside because you guys came back from the mountain cave area to from Chronotis's.
I think we
TARDIS.
may have walked back because the flying was being so difficult with the circuit.
You tried to
We
land, though, and
manually
you got fairly
piloted to Rex
close.
Peak.
Oh, that's
and
right.
From there, we walked into the city because we didn't want to bring the nice car to the neighborhood.
Right. I seem to remember something like that. All right. You guys managed to make your way back to the TARDIS. It's a nice hike. But when you manage to finally get back to the old girl, she is right where you left her. The bluest blue, the police box sign logo, everything. She's sitting right there waiting for you. And all her magnificent TARDIS-y glory.
She looks so much shorter in person.
Oh, well, remember that episode where the TARDIS
Yeah,
shrank
yeah.
down? It was Capaldi's first season. By the way, real quick, as we jump back into the game, this latest season of Doctor Who wrapped today. They posted that on Twitter, yeah. And it's supposed to be Capaldi's final season. So I'm both happy and really sad.
I think it's a
'cause-
great they scheduled it to work with your game today.
Yeah,
Consider
totally.
that.
It's really sweet of
Yeah.
them.
Totally.
And it premieres the 15th, I believe.
I'll text Capaldi later and just be like, hey, man, I
There
really
you go.
appreciate that.
Don't tease us.
That's really cool. All right. So, yeah, you pop open the doors. There's your TARDIS, the inside, just as you left her. Home sweet home. And amongst all the craziness you've been through, you all kind of walk through the heavy footsteps on the grating.
Much nicer ceilings in here, yeah?
Yes, indeed. I like it here.
Question.
Yes.
Why are we going and where are we going? We could take over this entire planet. We could be kings.
You know, there are other things that we're a bit more interested in.
Ah, I see. We could be queens and kings.
Let's consider it, but not the point.
We're saving the Sontoran Empire from being destroyed when all of time and space collapses in on itself.
Let's go. Let's
Ah,
go. No time to waste. Going.
Yeah,
well put.
it feels good
You
to
just
be
have to
back
know how to work with them.
in familiar surroundings inside the TARDIS.
And actually, now that we're back in the TARDIS and sort of shielded from the whale and their laws about psychic, I'm going to just send a little mental ping to Rocco.
Okay.
And just be like, River Song, do you trust her?
I rather hope I've been clear that I don't in any respect whatsoever.
First opportunity we get, we're going to find out what she hasn't been telling the Resistance.
Agreed.
Okay.
We shouldn't be too long. That was relatively quick.
Yeah, no, it actually doesn't. I would say that shortly after you arrive, you see River and Chronotis walking up the hillsides behind you. Chronotis looks like he's kind of just shuffling along. It looks, judging from the way he's carrying himself, even though he's a Time Lord and whatnot, the long walking is probably a bit of a pain as you're kind of stumbling up. River is behind him, looking like River. You guys see them approaching the doors of the TARDIS. Your circuit is in hand. Pennick is also with you guys.
I sent him with the circuit, and I reinstated his access so he could go just.
Oh, okay, okay. So Pennick has the circuit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so so you guys enter the TARDIS, stepping inside. Yeah.
I'm just going to give him a little pad, and I've seen to it that there'll be no retaliation. You're well protected, and you will continue to work as liaisons for this while I'm gone. Good man. You do good work.
I'm really, really sorry he made me do that. I didn't want to do it.
It's been taken care of. You'll be fine, and they won't retaliate against you. Everything has been taken care of.
Are you sure? I really don't want to go back there if I don't have to. You know, he's a very strange young
I
man.
know. You trust me?
He looks like he wouldn't.
Professor, if he doesn't want to work.
No, he's. If Professor
They will
says-
not hurt you. I have made them promise that they will not, and the new deal will guarantee your safety. You have a big future in front of you. I can always see a young man with a good future. I can always see a good future even in the past.
He kind of nods and says,
I'm already wandering towards the TARDIS, out of the brain again.
"Should I just give it to you then?" And
I just, we'll just put it back, and then once you see us leave, turn it back on again.
Right. Yeah, I can do that.
Excellent.
Pennick, are you all right?
I mean, the truth is he's kind of, he's got a lot to say around here. So if the professor says I should be okay, I guess I should be okay.
Right.
Every time you pat him, it's like he's getting punched by a linebacker in his shoulder. He kind of just like, yeah.
Very well. Shall I escort him out of the TARDIS?
Oh, he's got to go turn everything on and off and
A
on.
mission, yeah. Just Pennick, don't do anything you don't want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, I think I'm okay. I feel all right about this. I feel like maybe if I get second chances. I mean, it was really nice. And then he stops and, I'm sorry, I think I peed myself back there.
Do you want to maybe get changed?
Yeah.
Just,
Do you got any pants or something?
we do.
Thank you.
There.
Sorry.
Trousers as well.
Sorry. Sorry. And
all right.
kind of moves away. At that point, Cillian and Zeeps come walking out from the bottom of the TARDIS, both wearing swim trunks, and they're just talking. They come and he's like, Zeeps is just like cleaning out his ears with a towel and says, "Oh hey, how's it go?" Drops the towel and runs up the catwalk in bare feet and runs over and throws his arms around Finn. He goes, "You're back! You're okay! You're amazing! You're back! You're amazing! You're back! You're back! Everyone's back!
All true.
Yes, and our front as well.
Your front is back! Your front is, you're still your front, but it's attached to your back, which is also here!
Calm down.
Exactly.
And it's amazing! I'm so happy to see you all!
Just see you
Please
do
don't be
that.
taken aback.
You've been having fun?
There's a pool!
I know.
Cillian just goes, "Yeah, there's a bloody pool down there." Sorry, Duncan, I'm going to do your accent. I'm just going to destroy it.
On the first chance we get, I'm taking you to the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, look, what happened? What happened to everyone? Did you find anybody else?
There's no sign of your crewmates. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. I mean, I didn't think I was going to see you again, so I call this a win, really. Cillian just goes, "Yeah. I mean, we all won, right? We're all here. Seems like we're all here, including that one." He points to Meat Stick. Although, is he now part of the group? And he points over at Professor Chronotis.
What?
Not that I'm complaining. You make fine tea from whale gut.
For a bit, there's just a little bit of work to be done.
Indeed.
There is definite work to be done. Yes. Yes.
This is one of the only people out here who remembers your world.
Yeah.
Version of it, anyway.
Anyway. So Finnick pipes in and says, "So I guess if you want to take me back to your," he's coming in, buttoning on new trousers. He says, "If you want to take me back to your
Much better.
your cave, I guess I can plug that in and then leave and not take anything. I can do that. I'm going to become very good at that. Very, very good at not taking things that I shouldn't be taking."
I believe you.
We'll get
clever.
better at it.
Be clever.
Don't do that one.
Work on your cursive. I'll be testing you on it when you return.
Right, yeah.
It's always important to learn how to write with a pen.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Gonna fly the TARDIS?
We have to wait till he
turns the circuit, fixes the circuit to turn it off.
You can
right?
fly the TARDIS, but you can't get out of here. Like, it's going to be a bumpy ride, but if you try to, like, remember how you flew the TARDIS down and to the
Right.
you can do that. You can fly back to Chronotis's TARDIS without, you know what I mean? You don't have to teleport. You can literally fly the TARDIS over and then
I think we're parked
Yeah,
Are you
outside-
there?
yeah,
That's
we're
where we
parked
parked.
outside.
Oh, that's where it is. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you're all okay. And so in that case, now that I understand my own universe, in that case, he walks over to the door and stops and goes, "It's nice meeting you all." And he starts rubbing his shoulder as he looks over at Meatstick. Says, "Sorry again for the trouble. Thanks for letting me live. It's
We're
nice
all
of
in
you."
this together. I'll see you soon.
Right. See ya. Kind of awkwardly turns and opens up the door and steps out and starts walking towards the front door of the cave, which is, as you all know, a TARDIS built into the side of the mountain.
If I might ask, what is a swimming pool?
Oh, that is exciting.
Cillian just kind of goes, just funny, you know, because his face is a squid and he doesn't know what a swimming pool is.
I don't understand.
Not to be insensitive, sorry, just kind of funny.
Beastly thing.
No, forget it, I
Might
said
catch a
anything.
cold.
Forget I said anything. Just being human, you know. Pardon that.
This is, I'm very excited actually. We want to expand your pool of recreational activities, things that you do because you would enjoy them.
There are quite a few things I enjoy.
We heard the music earlier.
That is one, yes.
And another one is to enter water and splash about a bit, having fun.
Does that involve the interrogation of smaller beings?
Right where you left it,
No
on one of the
interrogation.
side panels, you see.
Can it involve
your
the
gun.
interrogation of smaller species?
Are they also having fun?
Right
Most
where you
likely
left
not.
her.
In that case, no.
All right, very well.
Run.
It's like the slow motion, sort of like running towards your lover kind of thing. Just like, you rush over and right because if you remember correctly, the doctor made you leave them all behind. You run over to. Isn't that right?
You
Did I
had
get this wrong?
You had Velig's gun.
No. I thought. Wait.
Wait.
Sarah Jane Smith
Sarah
has
Jane
our
has my
the
gun.
weapons we had on
Oh
Earth.
yeah, but you had Velig's gun.
Yeah.
I gave it
That's-
back to Velik.
Then wait, somebody left their gun in the TARDIS. So what am I making up here?
Who left their gun in the
So Velig's gun is in the TARDIS.
Hot me.
Oh, well then we have to pause and reality shift this to Velig seeing his gun, right? Because Velig's gun is in the TARDIS. I remember somebody's weapon.
I had Velik's
Because
gun.
you had
No,
Velig's
I
gun
had-
and you were made to
I
leave.
had a gun, but it wasn't Velik's gun.
You left
I just had one of the
Having wings
minor
your
guns.
gun when we left Earth.
Okay,
You left it behind.
so then we'll retcon that and say that Velig
I was
used
like, I
spot.
get my gun back?
Yay! No,
From
technically Sarah Jane still has that
What?
back at unit.
With your guns.
Watch your own show, Eric. Jeez. So Velig, yes, you see Blue Death. The massive canonized Centauran war weapon that can probably liquefy an Abrams tank with a single shot, leaning very comfortably up against one of the side walls of the TARDIS.
I move towards it. I stop. I look at the doctor, and I say, "Could I?"
We're all clear on our mission, saving lives, not
Indeed,
taking
saving
any...
the Sontaran Empire.
All right.
Good. I walk up to it. I pick it up. I look at it. and I go,
Wait.
That is home. Click, click.
The click click almost feels like a purring sound to you.
Yes.
Ah.
Reminds
This has
me
been
of
a
a Sontaran opera I
Very
heard once.
strange trip.
Doctor, I don't mean to. I know we have a bit of a schedule, but I mean, if we had also still been out there, would you have just left us? I feel.
God, no.
I
We thought you weren't here at all. We tried so hard to find you.
no, I know. I'm just saying, there's still 2 members of our team missing.
I think 3, Everbrennick and Dredd now.
Oh, we've 3. We've 3 people still missing. I know we have. Can we make sort of ourselves known? We're not exactly. Do they know what they're looking for at least?
I don't
We
think
can
they
leave.
saw the
So
TARDIS.
you didn't get a chance to see it, but there's a visitor center in the city. So what we could do.
No, I definitely didn't see that
Yeah.
part of the city.
Sorry. It's always ending up in prison. I'm so sorry.
I'm a bit fighty. It happens.
It's true, she is.
It's not entirely your fault.
No, I mean they threw the first punch. It's not important. I just want, if they want to stay, that's fine. This is probably a city they'd like. I just want to give them the option of leaving the whale. We're still in the whale, right? I don't actually know.
Actually, right when you say that, you hear as you all hear the labyrinth circuit deactivate. Your TARDIS immediately alerts you.
Oh, we'll be back.
No time at all. We'll be back once everything has been taken care of.
Finn,
Have
the
to come
professor
back.
plans to return, and I think in the meantime, we had a bit of a different experience of arriving than you did. There is a visitor center in the city, and I think we should ask Pennick to leave some information there, and hopefully we will get a chance to find them again. I'm sorry, Zeebs. We do have to go.
Zeep says, honestly, I'm not trying to be cold here, but the truth is I don't know what they would have done to me if we'd been left alone together. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it justifies, I don't want to leave anybody behind, but I guess what I'm trying to say is they're not good people, is what I'm trying to say, really. I'm not saying that means that they should be, left to rot inside of a whale, but I'm not going to miss them.
I'm whispering into my umbrella, leaving a message on the answer phone for them to be taken care of if they're found.
Okay. You just sort of whisper into the umbrella. Cut to the inside of your TARDIS as Pennick just looking around and hearing your voice coming in. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Here they'll have a second chance, and then if we are able to return, we may be able to take them back where they came from, but...
Making
Cillian chimes in and says, no, it's a good sentiment, but they did try to kill this whale. Maybe it's fitting they're left inside of it for the rest of their lives.
It is quite fitting, Master Doctor.
It's a bit poetic, isn't it?
Velix seemed to have a bit of a date, just looking out.
Maybe
Well,
they'll-
Ava,
so-
we shall meet each other again. One reunion a day is good for me, I say. Have you met my gun?
This gun is massive. It looks like an anime-style gun. It's too big for a creature his size to be holding, and yet he's
For the
wielding
record, I
it
hate
very
it.
easily. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Right.
But it's beautiful.
Will you vouch for
quite
him? And he's been
nice.
very helpful.
When it's activated, you can see these small
bit
wisps
grown
of
a
blue
liking
plasma smoke
to
kind of like
opera.
wafting like dry ice from the barrel, like it's just dying to be fired.
Shall I fire it?
No.
No.
Not yet.
All right. I count to 10 and then fire it.
No.
20.
Not inside the TARDIS.
I see. Indoor voice and gun using. I'm learning.
Right.
Indoor swords, everybody knows that.
Of course they do. Everyone does.
Have we got the signal? Is the circuit down?
I've heard the sound, it's all clear. The cane went beep.
Shall we?
Yeah, you walk over to the console. As you start powering it up, switching you guys see the core come online, and you see the Gallifreyan. It begins to spin as the TARDIS begins to come to life. As this is happening, and everyone's sort of like hanging on, Roko, you feel that presence one more time. Yeah, you feel one more time. You just nothing being said, but you just feel that sensation, that warmth. Like the only way you can interpret it is
Finn is jealous.
maybe as a goodbye. You're not sure, but you feel.
I was like, who's warming you? What is happening?
Finn is like, excuse me. What? Who else is in here with us?
Yeah, I know.
It's someone I wanted you to meet. So,
Yep.
yeah, I would just, if I can, very briefly, just deepen that connection a little bit and bring her
Kind of
in.
open
Like,
the door.
hey, see, this is.
Hi, I want you to meet Finn. Sure. Tell you what, if you want to burn a story point.
Oh, for sure, absolutely.
Okay. Then this is what happens. As you guys are all kind of chatting and having the conversation, off on the side, you grab Finn, and the moment Roko's hands clasp around your arm, all of a sudden you feel this wave of dizziness as all of a sudden you're being psychically connected to Finn and a third being whose presence is immense. It feels like, no, not massive. It's because I'm a Mass Effect fan. This is where it started.
Yeah.
So you feel this presence all around you, the warmth of this ancient, beyond counting, this being There's no words, but you definitely feel like something is communicated just from its presence. And even for a second, Finn, as somebody who is constantly like living their life on the edge of passion, who's like ready to pull guns or throw down or do, you never live anywhere below a 75 on the passion scale of what you do in your life. You feel this sense of serenity, and the wisdom and ancient nature of this creature is this must be what it feels like when you get close to sort of like the heart of the universe, is kind of what it feels like. And for a brief instance, you're feeling what Roko's feeling. It's a familiarity, and you're realizing as this feeling is washing over you that it is in fact Leviathan, the creature you're inside. This whale that has existed for perhaps before even the Big Bang. This creature that predates all known time. And then it begins to slowly, not just sort of like pulling away, and then you realize that you and Finn, as sound begins to come back, it's almost like someone's turning the volume on reality back up, and you're hearing the conversation of all your companions and the very nice, like the very soothing voice of a very large Ood talking to the doctor, and you, as it all starts coming back and you hear the grinding, wheezing noises of the TARDIS, you realize you and Finn are just holding each other, and you're back.
I'd lost all hope, and Leviathan gave it back. Now I have you again.
There are only two things in this world that make me that calm. One is the ocean, and the other's you. Thank you, my love.
And get that under the mic.
So swimming is when you...
So swimming.
So
Yes.
you intentionally submerge yourself in liquid for the purpose of recreation.
It can be quite a pleasant sensation.
I slowly dip my toe partially into it and then withdraw it.
Are you guys down in the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Oh, how did I miss that? That's fantastic. Oh, you're just gonna, okay.
We turn around
Can we
and
get a giant-
we're like, where did everyone go?
So you remove your boot.
Party.
Can we get giant water wings?
Huh?
There are giant water wings, or what do you call the thing?
No
Yes,
water
wings.
wings, that's
Floaties.
correct.
I was calling
You put
floaties.
floaties
There
on
we go.
meat stick?
Oh my god. This is the
Artists,
best. This is the best.
go
Bella, do
now.
you want to be down there too?
You have your
We should
mission.
get-
I wade into
it.
to my knees and go,
I do not find this pleasant. It is quite moistened, actually.
Oh, there's no need to go any further if you're not having fun, but splash.
Splash.
Yes, indeed. Tidal wave of water as the Ood just splash. Okay, just kind of like this huge, like gushing splash of water comes over you, soaking you into your coat, and your scarf is just kind of swinging back and forth, heavy with water.
I suppose I could have seen that coming. Yeah.
What's that?
With them now.
I mean, at this point,
As
everyone
we
is probably
heard it.
gathered in the pool area.
Okay,
as
but
this is-
I want
I'm
to
sitting
cannonball.
in a pool chair reading a book.
as soon as she takes a moment, I go,
I retract my previous statement. This is actually quite enjoyable.
and
I
the-
want to grab Roko and cannonball as close to meat stick as possible to drench them completely.
as you're splashing this water up onto the doctor, all of a sudden just there's a thud, like a as water just splashes all over, just drenching. You see this water just like dripping
Yep.
off the Ood's face now. It's complete. And of course, the water, as it's leaving the pool water level never seems to recede, no matter how much water is being splashed out of it.
It's bigger on the inside.
So yes, so Finn is in the water, the Ood's in the water, the doctor's covered in water.
I'm
in the
standing
water as
off
well.
to the side
I
watching.
took Roko with me, so
Yeah.
Roko is also in the water.
Oh, okay, so Roko is also, you are submerged in water.
Very wet
for me.
And you're like,
lizard.
ah. Yes, indeed. So the pool party on the TARDIS. We just need like we just need like the
guys.
Surfers theme, like the old '50s like surf. Okay, so
I'm just trying to slowly like make as many references as I can to like that you enjoy and you would like to or not like to. I'm trying to guide this conversation about like what meat stick wants
it's
and
an
feels.
odd sensation because you're kind of skirting the edges of life outside of servitude because now you're talking about a personal pleasure, So it's this is kind of an unusual experience for you.
It is, and every response is in some way, shape, or form tying it back to the fact that you're telling me that I would enjoy this. Like this is quite indeed what you told me should be fun.
Right.
As you've informed me, Master, this pool is enjoyable.
I'm
Perhaps
glad
let the ood dry off a bit.
suppose. Just an ongoing conversation. It would mean a great deal to me personally if you would attempt to always be, when talking to me about what you want and enjoy, I would like that to reflect your true desires.
Whatever you wish.
Right. Thank you.
I'm just, while reading my book, going to shake a towel to offer it to the ood.
Okay.
Not even looking up.
The only
My
person
turn.
here who's not here is River. Are you down there?
What color is the towel?
What color is the towel?
The towel is white with blue
He
stripes.
surrenders!
There was never something quite so true.
Actually, Eric, if River's not here, I'm gonna go looking for her.
Okay.
And just while I hand it off, true power is about desire, not need. You know that, right? You understand.
I believe I do, yes.
My desire is for privacy. You understand?
Yes?
When my desires change, I'll let you know, but otherwise, carry on as you will.
Can I do a psychic read of the professor?
Everyone at the table is suddenly like, what?
They
the
didn't
hell?
hear
Didn't
this.
hear
was-
this.
No, this is between you two.
But
Yes.
me.
Yes, you may.
Finn, but Cheetah.
And I'm going to leave it up to you, Tal. Do you want to resist or do
Nope.
you want to? No? Then yes, you may. You don't have to roll. If you're going to
Okay.
connect and he's not going to resist, then you link psychically with the professor.
Okay. And I do so. You want to whisper what I find?
You know exactly what.
So I'm wondering if the mic is picking this up.
Okay.
Yep. Nope.
Nope.
Good.
Remember what happened last time? You linked with the
I
tunnel.
nod and turn and head back towards the pool.
Okay.
Thanks.
You guys, the fun continues to happen as the splashing is taking place. Vela, just out of curiosity, where are you? You're down there, yeah?
Yes, I'm standing in the corner.
You're fully aware that if you stepped into the pool, you would sink to the bottom like a rock with this, not only being a Centauran in full body armor, but also this massive weapon at your side. Yeah, you guys are, so y'all are at the pool. Okay, so then, so Jody, you went to look for, okay, so you find River at the console, back up at the TARDIS, and you actually managed to walk into the room just in time to see her throwing up. She's leaning over the side of the console, and she's pulled her hair back, and she's just catching her breath.
Not looking
And then
very well.
she just says, "Sorry, old girl. Sorry about that."
Not looking very well there.
She stiffens when she sees you walk in. She's like, "The food in that whale is awful. I'm fine.
Insight check.
Go ahead."
Shoot, what was that again?
It is awareness plus ingenuity. Go, girl.
18.
18. So what are you trying to find out?
If she's trying to hide something there.
Doesn't seem like she's trying to hide anything, but she doesn't seem like. Let me put it this way: she doesn't seem like she's 100% convinced that that's why she just threw up. Let's put it that way.
You know what? I was gonna wait till Rocco was around, but I'm just gonna do a little psychic
From
prying.
there some way you
Everyone with
could
the
tell me if
psychic.
you're still-
Everyone likes to go knocking. Did you learn nothing from Professor X? All right.
We learned how to be psychic from Professor X.
All right. So go ahead, and this is going to be. I believe this is going to be. Do we ever actually come up with a roll for this? Let's look.
Psychic, because I have this trait. Psychic is resolve and awareness plus
Thank you.
4.
Versus resolve ingenuity.
That's right. Thank you very much. Okay. Oh, 1 sec. I gotta pull out Rivers. Gotta pull them back out again.
Sorry, Rocco.
You could have let me know. I would have gone upstairs.
Yeah, that was the new song. I would have gone upstairs by Rocco.
You're happy.
Here we go.
We had talked about it before.
Okay.
Nothing I can do now.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Happening.
Holy shiza.
Is that a good holy shiza?
Good.
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
We'll find out soon enough.
I need my. What'd you get?
21.
There's a wall. You don't sense anything from her. You just run right into a psychic wall. Not like a physically trained psychic wall, but she's able to resist.
Okay.
You don't. And she clears her throat for a second, and then she looks at you. Is this what it's going to be like?
You're the one who's not sharing.
You're going to hold that against me? How long is it until you told them who you were?
She showed up with Davros. How many times do I have to say that? That's not normal doctor operating.
Nothing's normal about us. Everything is sideways. And she kind of takes a deep breath for a second and looks like she's going to steady herself. And then you see her smack a compartment and it opens up, clearly very familiar with the TARDIS, and she pulls out a cloth, probably used to like clean the TARDIS wipe, and she closes it up and begins to clean up after herself.
My hand actually goes toward my pocket when she does that.
Okay.
But then it's not a weapon, so.
Yeah. She glances at you and just, I'm fine with you hating me, but don't be a fool. We're on the same side. And she cleans it up.
What else have you been withholding from the Resistance, though? I mean...
There's a lot of things that I can't tell the Resistance. As you well know, there's a lot of Time Lords out there that are psychic, so I don't exactly go around advertising everything I'm doing.
But if you had let us know the location of the rips, we could have handled this well before.
I didn't know the exact location. The doctor had that information.
But you were there when he recorded the message.
But the doctor lies.
True. I guess you did pick up something from him after all.
Not from him, but yes. I picked up a few things. Don't... This is stupid to ask, but please don't tell them you saw me throwing up.
It's not important, is it?
I'm gonna go lie down. I'll be in my... wherever I can find a bed.
And head back to the pool then, I guess.
She moves past you and goes down one of the other gangplanks. She's looking a little pale. What I will tell you from your inside check is there's something about her that seems like she's rattled. But she soldiers on. She's a little pale. She almost just seems like maybe it's because she just threw up, you don't know. But she just seems a little shaken, not stirred. And moves down and exits into the main common area. And at about the time that she exits the main common area, you hear the of the TARDIS arriving at its destination.
Which I'm halfway submerged in the pool now, returning to the waters.
You
and
all
slowly
hear that, yeah.
growing more comfortable with the pool.
You're surprisingly buoyant. You're like,
This is strangely uncomfortable yet comfortable.
Unhygienic.
And then the thudding noise, you all all aware the TARDIS, you're all very familiar with the sound and feel of the TARDIS arriving at its destination. As you arrive at this would be the last, I believe. Or is it the last? No, second to last.
Second.
The second coordinates that was transmitted to you by the doctor.
I also, I meant to ask you while we were on break.
Yeah.
I need to watch the message I got, but I was waiting for the right time for that.
You're a Time Lord.
Right. One more piece of business before we go to this next rip.
You press the button, and coming into view, you kind of are surprised to see a man in a trench coat with a very, very long scarf around his neck and a hat on his head. He has thick curly hair and a big smile on his face. And he says, "Oh, I think that should about do it. Hello, Doctor. Assuming you get this, of course. I've been reaching through these tears in time. Not successfully, unfortunately, but if you receive this message, I'm leaving my coordinates for you." And you hear like, all of a sudden your sonic screwdriver bleeps in and says, "I've been speaking to the other one of us. Not surprised to see that I got old again. It's a shame.
I thought I looked good.
But feel free to contact me as well. I can be reached at these coordinates when you need me. I can at least tell you what is going on in my universe. Quite fascinating, some of the changes that have happened. After coordinating with a few of the other doctors, I've discovered that the things that are plaguing your timeline, at least according to the gentleman in the black suit and the short grey hair, apparently it's not just your universe that is falling apart. It looks like we may have miscalculated the after effects of freezing Gallifrey in a single moment of time.
Oh dear.
I'm giving you the final coordinates to another doctor, a man I did not recognize, but who is also among us, who should have further information should you come across another tear. Feel free to contact him. In the meantime, good luck. And you see him pop something into his mouth from a package of what looks like candy, and it goes...
Well, now I'm hungry.
You're like, oh, right, those things. Haven't had
One of
those
those
in a
in
while.
ages.
What was that?
It's a thing called a jelly baby. They're delicious. Oh, it was a message. Sorry, it was a message that we found in the last tear in space-time. From a face, I think, if it was the same in this universe.
Where is the face I miss quite a bit?
Well, I'm right here.
You are.
It was a nice face, though.
It was the last time I had seen this face, I believe.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
For those of you who are familiar with the Doctor, knowing that that was the fourth regeneration, it was pretty surprising to see him talking and up and about again. But it was like he was there just talking to you guys through the holographic projection.
Maybe it wasn't. I don't. It's a face I knew. Yes. No point dwelling on the future.
Yes, we should dwell on the present. Here is a face you can look at now.
So where are we, Doctor?
Dry coat and open door.
Open the door. I love that there's like a whole view console that'll tell you exactly where you are. But the Doctor's like, nope, throws
Not how
open
we
the
roll.
door.
It's more fun that way.
And that door, as it comes open, waves of damp heat just fill the TARDIS as the environment from the outside begins to just permeate into this room. In front of you is, it looks like nighttime on a primal jungle world.
War?
War.
Primal jungle war.
Velig skips off into the distance, just happy.
I ran out the door.
I am home.
Yes.
Yes, it's a jungle world. You see thick foliage. It looks like this place, it almost looks like Jurassic World. You're just looking out over jungles and thick bush and foliage and multiple moons off in the distance setting against a star sky. This place is beautiful, primal. You see massive, like insects zipping by from time to time. And you've managed to land in a clearing. Yes, Rocco, the feeling of this environment wafting over you is, it almost reminds you of home. The moment it touches your skin, you can feel the nutrient-rich air. It just like saturating your pores. You're immediately you've been sort of sustaining yourself on artificial nutrients this whole time, and like artificial sunlight and stuff like that. But this world, like the air itself, the water, the moisture in the environment, the bacteria that's just innate, and the pollen, like everything that's in the air that would probably kill Eric in real life, because I've got sinuses and allergies, and I'm an asthmatic. They would all are quite lovely to you. You're just in a shampoo commercial, just enjoying yourself. As it just kind of like walks over you. Yeah. Stepping out, you guys immediately step into heat that's probably in the 90 to 95 degrees Fahrenheit range.
I'm gonna leave my nice velvet coat in the TARDIS.
Yeah, just taking that off. You feel that oppressive humidity.
In places like this.
Oh, it's like Florida.
And you see, anybody who's been doing any sort of tropical climate, that's basically what you've stepped into. Yeah, it's the Caribbean all over again. You're like, oh man, way too much space travel. Also in the distance you hear roars. It's like you hear
how loud and how large?
Large, probably far off into the distance, but you are also hearing the nighttime sounds of like crickets or like the equivalent of, and but yes, I can't describe it any further than it looks like you've just stepped back in time to prehistoric Earth. Think of it like a night. Clearly this is not Earth, but it does seem like you've stepped back in time.
Doctor, there does appear to be denizens of this vicinity, rather large and looming.
Yeah. Seem a bit dangerous, doesn't it? How far off is the tear?
Activating your sonic, it immediately, which is about as close as the TARDIS can possibly get.
Right.
Before, yeah.
We'll use caution as we go. We're about 2 miles away from the tear.
I run out the door and say, I now claim this planet in the name of the Sontaran Empire.
He doesn't.
All who would disagree with me, look upon your death and be frozen on the spot like being next to a Dalmatian in the Arctic. You will be frozen on the spot.
The night is shattered as the Sontaran, again, demonstrating how incredibly powerful the vocal cords of a Sontaran are. As the night, the wildlife gets quiet, thinking a predator is nearby, the sound of this roaring of the Sontaran, and then slowly starts to creep back. Darren, actually, Velik needs to make a quick awareness resolve check.
Okay.
As you run out and declare this.
Yes.
What'd you get?
21.
20? Okay. So Velik charges out and probably runs about 30 or 40 yards until you get into this nice spatial clearing where everything can hear you. And you all are hearing this booming voice as he says this. And as you finish, Darren, you just kind of looking around. This is the first time a Sontaran has ever set foot on this world.
Indeed.
And then, as you kind of, your eyes fall to the looks like a body, a corpse, about maybe 10, 15 feet away. And what stops you as you spot it is the unmistakable body of a Sontaran. Wrapped in vines, covered in moss, it looks like skeletal remains still full into its body armor.
Are the vines attached to a tree of some kind?
No, it looks like it's just foliage. Like it looks like it's just the wildlife sort of has like grown up over this. You can actually see like thick grass spurting up between his arms.
So it came from the ground?
Like it grew up. Yeah, exactly. So
I shoot the ground a lot.
Okay.
Take that! Planet.
We're hearing
this
these blasts.
is for the Sontaran Empire!
There is no way that nothing within a 5-mile radius is hearing all of this. You guys hear the thunderous roars of that plasma rifle going off. A few moments later, followed by what looks like a tree that's probably 60 to 70 feet tall. Diameter, the radius of this tree, I mean, this is an ancient tree. So you guys watch as these plasma bolts go off, these explosions taking place, and you watch as this tree goes and begin to tip.
So there's a tree coming at me?
No, it's like falling in the opposite direction. As you're kind of blasting down at its base, it literally begins to fall off to the literally opposite direction of you.
Ah, it looks like your bark wasn't as bad as my bite.
Oi!
Ha! Sontaran, you
Velig,
Tree
stop it at once!
smashes into another tree, which takes that tree down, and you guys watch as these ancient trees just begin to collapse. Probably about 4 trees come crashing to the ground. Wildlife scatters everywhere. You're watching bat-like creatures take to the sky. There's silhouettes as wildlife everywhere is running. And when the smoke clears, there's just a crater surrounding the body of this
I
dead
charge
Centauri.
Velik and take his gun.
So you charge up to Velik.
know you can try.
I was gonna say.
Try.
Okay, this is a contested roll. Finn runs up to you when that cybernetic arm grabs you. Let's make a strength athletics check on both of your parts.
Oh boy.
Go, go, go.
Spending a story point.
You're gonna spend a story point?
Yeah. No more trees.
Where was my...
I love you,
It's a good
Captain.
thing I'm not playing my other character.
Ah, 15.
Yeah,
15.
right?
15.
What did you say it
Funny
was?
stick, huh?
15. You've got to beat a 15.
Won't happen. I'm big and wearing armor.
I mean, sorry, what did you say? I keep forgetting.
You need to beat a 15.
No, what
Simmer
do I
down.
add? No, you just cannot.
It's
Strength
strength and
and
athletics.
Big in my mind.
Yes, that's
You are girthy
Exactly.
with armor.
Yes.
Yeah, 25, I take your gun.
Wait up. What the? What?
I take the gun and just put a hand on his head like, no, stay put.
That cybernetic arm surprisingly is able to pull that gun right out of your grasps, and she puts her hand on your forehead. No.
I had
Call.
just shouted, Velig, stop this at once, so
By the way, you are standing at about the same height as Veleg at this point because the ground has been decimated. You're standing almost waist deep in a crater that was just created as Veleg has just gone full Rambo on the ground, decimating the foliage. Some of the rocks that are inside this crater are like superheated, so they're just red and like more heat being added to the air.
I look at Finn and say, would you like me to stop?
No more trees, Velig, dear.
Very well.
The
May I have my gun back?
no! We do not arrive in new places and destroy everything we see.
By the way,
You don't. I do.
It's at this point while y'all are having this conversation where you realize there's an ancient corpse of a Centauran in front of him.
Oh.
Well, that explains that, I guess.
This Centauran's body armor looks like it's been torn in a few places, but it's a skeleton inside of the armor.
Is everyone walked up? Or is anyone
Yeah, I
still
would
there?
imagine that. I think everyone's approached at this point. Are you guys comfortable with that?
I was the last to leave because I grabbed
Yeah,
something.
I'd probably follow up the rear as well.
Okay. All right. So what do you? Oh, it's
Do I recognize this at all as one of my clone mates?
no, but from the looks of it, it looks like this. Judging from the mark and grade of the armor, this is an older Centauran, maybe a few clones ago. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yes, indeed.
one of. And this is probably like a few generations back, but it looks like he made.
First librarian Velik Mark 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. From the looks of it.
I see.
I'm so sorry, but you can't do that.
I did. So obviously I can.
With a 21, by the way,
Yes.
you do notice that he's got equipment on him still. There's no weapon, but he's still equipped with like a belt, and he still has a few items on him.
Well, but you don't desecrate the body of a fallen comrade.
How long has it been here?
Judging by the looks of it, just as a Time Lord, just giving it a straight up look, probably close to maybe 4 to 600 years.
Suppose it would be helpful to know where and when we are.
Very well. You may examine the body. I will allow you to do so.
Take a quick look.
Go ahead. So you're using your sonic, so I'll just give it to you. Scanning the area, you realize as you're scanning, but with the soil samples and with the death of this Centauran and everything, you realize you need to probably verify your suspicions with the
starting to
TARDIS.
weapons fire or
predators or something else.
Just from the atmosphere and
Yeah,
everything else like
600
that, but
years ago,
it doesn't match what it should be, but you have a feeling that you need to verify the information because it looks like your sonic screwdriver is like computing a lot of information.
I'll be right back. I need to check something in the TARDIS.
You do that. I shall honor my fallen comrade.
Quietly.
Even though I did not know him. Very, very quietly.
Right.
I promise you, it will be done quietly.
Okay.
I'm going to sing a Santaran opera.
Okay.
Shall I?
Yes, I would love to hear a Santaran opera.
Yes.
It's
Let's do that
I
then.
let him go.
I'm certainly
Okay.
not stalling for time.
Okay.
All right. Boom, 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 boom. Look at what I made. Boom, 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 boom. Why, it's a grenade. Boom, 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 boom. I will destroy you. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I deplore you. Come forth, face me. I have destroyed a mighty tree. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I will destroy your payload. Boom, boom, boom. It will explode. Boom, boom, boom. Hammer down. Boom, boom, boom. It's high noon. Boom, boom, boom. I will destroy you. I will destroy you soon. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom.
Bravo, bravissimo!
Second verse.
Okay.
Don't hate me, but I'm starting to like these.
We'll do a quick cut back to inside the TARDIS as we wrap the game up here. You input the calculations in the sonic screwdriver. The TARDIS begins to bring up a star map, and as it runs through the calculations, you realize you are on the Santaran homeworld.
Oh my.
When?
According to your sonic and the calculations made by the TARDIS, this is billions and billions and billions of years into the future. You have actually stepped closer towards what could be called. This might be, the TARDIS would register, this might actually be closer towards maybe the fall of the Santaran Empire, which, by the way, your TARDIS has never registered before. Possibly a disruption in the timeline, it's hard to say, but from the universe that you came from.
Right.
But this looks like whatever has happened here has happened in the past few hundred years, obviously. But something dramatic must have happened because it's completely changed the biosphere, the makeup of the planet, and the fauna. Everything is completely different. But everything in your TARDIS console is telling you that this is basically you're standing on a massive graveyard that's been grown over.
Oh, what happened to
You like that,
Santa?
Jody? You like that I said massive?
The fate of Santa.
And outside, you hear a joyous Veleg singing, unaware that he's actually standing on the remains of his civilization. And that's where we have to stop for today. Yay! Great game, you guys. We won't have Matt or Darren back because they're extremely busy people. I just want to say Matt did Critical Role last night, then woke up this morning, did a VO session, and then came straight here to play Doctor Who. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Darren also coming straight from a VO session to jump in on Doctor Who. Thank you so much. Yay! Hello to our guests. It's so nice to have our full party back. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little RP session during the break. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next Friday as we continue to advance the story. We'll figure out what we can do with Meat Stick. We'll have our little. We'll Ashley Johnson you too. You guys will be doing. we'll do something with you too.
I love that. That's a verb now.
That's a verb now. I'm just gonna Johnson you guys.
Ashley Johnson.
We'll just Ashley Johnson you guys. All right. So until next time, guys, stay whimsical and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Spider-Man.
Stay tuned for
This
Brick
is
Battles.
amazing.
It's coming up. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.